Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Speed 5 and a Family Affair. And look who we have back, feeling all healthy. Hello, cKnoor.
Hello. Thank you. Yes, I am back. You make it sound like it was, guys, it was just a cold. I say that, but I did get really loopy from it, which means I don't really remember what happened last week. I know I watched it. I'm just like, what was going on?
Yeah. So SpartiniMartini. Oh, that poor man. So he accidentally converted to Judaism. So today is going to be scary for him.
See, I'm sure that's the case. But whenever someone does something accidentally or they didn't plan for it or something just happened, half of the time it seems like it's just nefarious plotting, either from the person who it happened to or someone else.
I don't know. For him, he was super disappointed. But however, I do have faith in him, even if he doesn't have faith in himself.
Yeah,
that he can make this right and he can do something with it. I know his vassals are very angry with him, but I was like, just wine and dine them. Just take them out for a nice meal and pat them on the back, and they'll be okay with you changing religions. It's fine. It's fine.
People have been through worse.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, SpartiniMartini is not the first person to change religion.
Oh, you're right. Yes, you are right. It'll be interesting, too, because as we learned from Kara last week as well, if you want to make friends, you just stab them in the back with a sword. Because that was her whole thing last week, was that she was just going to make friends. And then she went to war. We were like, wait, whoa.
Hey, you can make friends in wartime. Like, you have a common goal that you're trying to achieve together. Or
die, maybe.
Yeah, or you have a shared experience, and then you can connect on a deeper level because of that.
I'll remember that when we go back out there. But anyway, so also poor Snap kept dying, had to start over again. But we'll see what he can accomplish. The Grave one had a few unfortunate things. He did not get the HRE, just bad timing. I mean, it was sad. And then Mordaith, of course, I believe his country is quickly burning. Well, we'll see that back. But actually, let's go ahead and bring up the leaderboard.
So, as been mentioned, this is the final week of A Family Affair. When we started out, all of our players, of course, knew it was only going to be 4 weeks and 8 hours in total, which means whoever has the highest point at the end of today is going to be declared our winner and is going to get all the admiration and adulation that is due them. With that said, we have, let's see, at the top, we have SpartiniMartini with 10 kingdom points, 3 points from Byzantium for a total of 13. heyitscara is in second place with 10 kingdom points, and that's it. She has not managed her Hispania, which we'll see if they manage to do that this week, of course. And then we have Grave One and SpartiniMartini at 4 points each.
Snap strategy.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Snap. I don't remember how words work. Grave One and Snap strategy at 4 points, and Mordaith at 2.
2 points, yeah.
But 2 very delicious points, I'm sure.
I'm sure that he enjoys them in his belly.
Yes,
but not one of our cats. I'm looking at you, Mordaith. I'm looking at you, bud.
And before we go talk to our casters, I feel like we should mention, like I said, this is, of course, the final week for A Family Affair. Doesn't mean that there won't be more CK3 content on the channel going forward. But please give us your feedback either in Twitch chat or in the YouTube comments or on our Discord at discord.gg/speed5. Tell us what you think of A Family Affair and if there's any tweaks you want us to do, or if there's any players you want us to invite for whenever the next season is. That is my spiel.
Your spiel. Well, let's go ahead and bring the casters in and they can have their spiel.
Hello.
Good evening. Midgeman, let's start with you first. Who do you think? Well, maybe we shouldn't ask who you think. What do you think will happen tonight?
Well,
we can't hear him.
Yeah, I'm sure he's saying really smart things.
I'm sure he is too. I mean, he's a very smart man.
Let's see if we can hear JibblyJam. It might be our headsets that can't hear.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you. What do you think will happen tonight, JibblyJam?
Well, So one thing that I think will happen is that we're going to see the most amazing titles for the nations ever. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but we've had some nation name changes, which I'm really excited about. We have Caral Andalus, we have Timali, we have the Bizenquack Empire. And so I just think that we should really give our players, their creative accolades, because these are awesome. The name schemes have been awesome. The dynasty names have been awesome. It's like I said, it's interesting because, you see these large point totals and then everything could just fall apart immediately.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see. I'm hoping to see Hispania form. I'd like to see those 5 points on the board. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Italy now that the HRE is, potentially not a thing. And I would like to maybe see Mordaith get, their independence as they are currently a vassal.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I think one of the things we've seen so far, and I want to get your point on that, JibblyJam. Like, it's been a lot of ups and downs, but up till this point, the players have always been like, well, okay, this happened. I can plan for it next week. That's no longer the case. Like, this is the final 2 hours that they can play. Do you think that's going to change how they play? And if so, kind of, what do you think? What do you think is the strategy in general of our players going in?
So in my opinion, I would say that this is the finisher. This is the closer. This is where you make your big decisions. Up until this point, it's very difficult to create the biggest realm and kingdom and empire because succession laws can all tear it down. Currently, we're starting and it's only 1169. So realistically, this is when you want to unify everything and just hope that it holds for those last 2 hours. This is, if I were playing, this is when I would do crazy expansion. I'd be doing crazy murder plots. I would be, sticking my kids on every single throne possible and just really hoping that we can last for those last 2 hours. This is you want to be very ambitious in this last, try to grab all the points that you can.
Yeah, absolutely. And Midgeman, I think we might have him.
Hello?
Yes,
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hello. So what do you think? What do you think about tonight?
Not sure what happened there. What I think about tonight? I think tonight's going to be interesting. So I spent a couple of hours last in the in between week trying to work out what happened to the HRE, and I finally found it. I was watching the videos back at like 0.4 of the speed, and it turns out the AI captured the Holy Roman Emperor and finished their war right as the Grave One was finishing their war. So it was just such a small, minute detail. So is what I would like to see. I'd like to see the HRE return into play because that's 3 points that someone could reform. And I think it's well within the realm that Caro or the Grave One could pull it off. I'd like to see some other empires forming up and really start moving away from those kingdom 10 points. But I agree with Ghibli. You just need to go mass expansion, try everything. Because despite Kara and Spartini having a point advantage over most of the competition, with some drastic plays, anyone could make up those points, or they could be turned down by everyone. So I think we need to see some player conflict. I think that's what needs to happen this episode, and I think we're going to see that this episode.
And just to confirm again what was said about the HRE and Grave One, last week, of course, we weren't entirely sure if it was a bug or what had happened, but now we can confirm that it wasn't a bug, it was just real bad luck, essentially.
Yeah. It was the worst Paradox RNG for this kind of event for someone to have, which is completely on brand, I think. So, it's just added excitement. Now the HRE needs to be reformed. And, it could be beneficial, could be more of a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to note it down here in my on my cheat sheet. But, of course, we always want to make history, and getting the worst RNG possible is definitely a plaque that I do want to award players going forward. Right now, Grave One is a good contender for that.
Great. All right, on that note, thank you so much to Midgeman and JibblyJam. We're going to let you go get ready. And I believe we have our first player ready to talk to us.
Let's
which would be
so.
SpartiniMartini.
There we go.
Hello.
Hello, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm excited. Kind of nervous, but also excited.
So, I'm going to ask, and I'm pretty sure you're going to tell me no, but would you like to reveal your strategy for the finale? Or at least the first
No.
hour? No?
No.
Okay, that's totally fair.
I have a few plans, but I can't reveal anything. Otherwise, it might not work.
In that case, let's go into more touchy-feely subjects. You're sitting at the top of the leaderboard. From a strategy perspective, do you think it's a good idea to sit at the top of the leaderboard?
Usually, if you're on top, you'd paint a big target on your back. But I think the other players also know that Kara is close to forming his Spaniard, and Kara will be on top with surpassing me with 2 points. So I don't think I got hopefully not a big target on my back. I think Kara and me are kind of equal in there.
Yeah, it'll be definitely interesting to see what happens with you tonight, just because of everything that happened with you accidentally converting to Judaism. Seeing how you kind of handle your vassals from this point on, and do you think that anyone is actually going to declare war on you, or do you feel like you're safe?
Well, in 10 days, the Crusade is going to start against me because I went Jewish. So pretty sure there's going to be a war in 10 days.
See, now
That's not good.
Now a more disillusioned host might point out that maybe it's like the next level play of being like, I know I'm in a really good position, so at the end of this session, I'm gonna do something that makes me look really weak and fumbling around, like convert to a religion I don't want to convert to. I'm not saying that's what happened, because clearly it's not. I'm just saying if it did happen that way, very smart.
Yeah. Do you know about how many points you expect to have by the end of the night?
It's going to depend on how well it's going to go, especially with the vassals being angry right now. If I convert quickly, I think I can make some points. Otherwise, I just got to defend more than offend.
Okay.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Thank you so much.
And next we have heyitscara. Hello. So, are we going to make friends tonight, or are we going to stab someone in the back again?
I'm gonna make friends tonight.
Okay. We're gonna make friends.
I don't have any hard plans, but yeah, I mean, like what the casters were saying and everything too. Like, it's just all about expansion tonight, right?
Ooh, wink, wink.
I mean,
it's all about
we're
expansion.
starting immediately with the crusade against the Biz and Quack Empire. So beyond that, I think I'll just ignore that side of the world. But we'll see. Who knows?
So no plans for the HRE?
We'll see. I might be able to try to like wrestle it out and form it again, but I'll see. I don't know. I'm not too sure, actually.
So you don't know if you necessarily want to go to war with other players, maybe expand south?
Yeah, I do have a foothold in Africa that I'm planning to grow a lot, so I can just hopefully get as many kingdom points as possible.
And then, of course, yes, get España. That'll really push it right over. That'll be amazing.
Now, Cara, if we
I
were
hope I can do it. Oh my gosh.
if we were to do a season 2 of A Family Affair, and you had to give one piece of advice for the next set of players to like do well in this format, what would that be?
I think it would be to, at least for the first couple of sessions, to just like establish a very solid foundation, like just like a central kingdom or realm area, and then just like centralize as much as possible, and then kind of spread your tendrils out, I guess.
I like how you put that. All right, thank you, Cara.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Snap Strategy. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
So, what's our plan for tonight? To not be an 8-year-old, I'm assuming.
Yeah, hopefully I don't die again. I don't really have like a full plan set in stone. I'm just gonna like go with it and just hope for the best at this point, I think.
And I that brings me to an interesting question, because this is week 4. The first 3 weeks, did you go in with a plan, and did you succeed with those plans, or did they fall apart after like the first 10 minutes?
Yeah, they went well for like the first session, and then every time I got England, everything just fell apart, and then I got it again and again, and it kept falling apart. So England has been like my kryptonite, where it's just destroyed me every time.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, every single time that you've gone for them, they've kind of stabbed you in the back a little bit. So, do you plan on maybe trying to?
No.
Right. I mean, maybe go after Kara. He probably doesn't want to say, but I mean,
even if Snap doesn't want to say, clearly there are people both in Twitch chat and on Discord that are like, someone has to go after Kara.
yeah, that has been said. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I start in a war with France because they're my vassals. So if I win that, I can revoke all their titles, and hopefully I'll have like a decent power. Because right now I have like no counties, so I'm really weak. So hopefully, if I win this, I can do some wars, but I'll have to just see how it goes.
Yeah, and you really don't know either what's gonna happen with the other players, because I know SpartiniMartini does have a whopping 13 points, but you don't know what's going to necessarily happen. I mean, things could blow up in the next 2 hours, and you can end up being ahead. So I mean, if you can maybe just get a stronghold somewhere, you could end up with more points.
There is the difference between being playing safe and securing the points you have, and hoping that someone else is going to screw with the other players, or being the person who goes out and's like, no, I'm gonna make it a mess for everyone else, so that they like. There are two ways to gain points: by getting points or having everyone else lose theirs.
Yeah, that's true.
With that said, please get more points.
Yeah, I think as long as I do well the first half and I can like secure France decently, I may be able to go out and maybe do some fighting. But odds are I'm gonna get overthrown for like the 6th time. So.
All right. On that note, thank you, Snap Strategy.
Thank you.
And next we have the Grave One. Hi, Tim.
Hello. Hello.
Currently the unluckiest player of Speed 5 so far.
Yes, I'll take that award. I'll happily take that. Yeah, it felt really unlucky last game because I figured out as well right after was talking to Kara. It was like right when I went. It was actually like milliseconds. I went to like click accept peace deal, and then like it got invalidated right before I clicked accept. So it was really unlucky.
You gotta love that nature of multiplayers too, because if he were just doing his own video or his own channel or whatnot, he could just pause that and then he would have been fine. However, in the multiplayer, there's no pause, so you just got to go. Unfortunately, you just got to go with it, and that was just something massive unluck for that part of it. But so, what do you think? Do you think that you'll actually try to go after the HRE again?
I don't think with Kara also in like that area, I don't think I will be able to get enough counties because I have to get like 150 counties or something, and I have like 1, so I don't think there's a chance unless like Kara blows up and like everything's just like, oh hey, you want to like be our like king now, and that's the only really way to.
But she didn't necessarily say that she was going to go for the HRE either, though.
I think she controls enough land there that I would have to take land from her in order to form the HRE.
Okay.
So I would have to go to war with her if I wanted to form the HRE.
So what do you think that she'll do tonight? Have you made some alliances? Are you just going to poke somebody with a sword?
I've definitely have been talking to some people behind the scenes of like what we might do, what we should do, kind of like who we might want to like band together with. But I'm really unsure of what to do because I think that first place is out of the running for me now that the HRE is gone. So I might be going for the Havoc play where everyone else is just going to have complete havoc because of me.
Yeah,
that would be a lot of fun. Actually, I would enjoy that.
Yeah. I hope my plan works out. We'll see.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
And next we have Mordaith. Mordaith.
Why'd you say it like that? Why do you say it like, oh, it's poor Mordaith?
Because he's just had such bad luck the last 3 weeks.
No,
Look,
we've agreed.
that's
the
how-
Grave One is the unluckiest.
That's fine.
And I'm a
That's
little
fine.
sad he's not a cannibal anymore. That makes me want to cry a little bit.
Don't cry. Talk to the developers of CK3 and say make cannibalism
will.
a hereditary trait.
Do right now. Come on, get up.
No.
Quick.
I have to talk to the developers from time to time, and I'm not going to bring that up. That's the thing.
Stop my feet.
But if you want to, go tell them on the forums or the CK3 Discord. I'm sure they'd be like, oh, Mordaith and Speed 5 sent me.
We'll get right on it.
Leah from Speed 5 sent me over here.
It's like they really want more people to eat more people. Mordaith, what are you planning to do today?
I plan to maintain my 2 points by surrendering in a war.
Ooh.
Oh, that's spicy.
Right now, I am under 2 people are declaring war for the Kingdom of Alba. One is some very nice duke, I'm sure. The other's my sister. So I'm just going to surrender to my sister who's winning. I'll still keep the points because she's in my bloodline.
That is true.
And my half-brother sits on the King Wales. Now, while I'll be reduced down to a duchy, maybe less, I don't know. I might lose everything here.
So do you have plans of trying to extend your lead?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely going to try to make a play for Ireland at some point. I don't have a lot of room to work with right now. I got like maybe 900 troops. I'll tell you, no one's knocking on my door asking for a backdoor alliance. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, yeah.
The Grave One's, listening right now. I think Mordaith might be open to an alliance there.
Him and his 900 troops.
Woohoo! Here they
Powerful
go.
alliance.
They're hard workers.
All right, do we have the casters ready?
I think we're gonna say thank you and best of luck to Mordaith to begin with.
Thank you.
Good luck. Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see what this is like.
No, and you know what I noticed? The players with 10 plus points, they were like, I'm gonna get some more points. I'm gonna stabilize. I'm gonna do this thing. Whereas the players with 4 or less, they were like, we'll see if we can create some chaos. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's more not being said by the players in that doesn't have as many points compared to the players that are protecting.
I
more
agree
points.
with that completely. Yes. I think SpartiniMartini, does have a bit of an issue more than what we're probably giving it credit for. He is going to have a bit of a handful here. So I think for him, it is going to probably be rough. It's going to be, I think, harder for him to keep his points.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know, because if someone does go after Kara and is successful, that could knock her down. I mean, we don't know.
I think it's also a case of this is still 2 hours of gameplay.
Right.
What we're talking about is everyone's reaction to the initial start, right? We had SpartiniMartini say, oh, well, there's going to be a crusade in, was it, 10 days?
Yeah, 10 days.
Like, in an hour or so, we'll know how that's ended.
True.
And things might have shifted around quite a bit.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next hour. And on that note, let's go ahead and throw over to our casters. Get this started.
So, Ghibli, we've heard from all the players. We're about to start the final session. Do you have any final sort of thoughts before we hit that unpause button and let these guys go ahead with this?
I have no final thoughts other than I am sitting in anticipation and I am excited.
Well, other than that, then I best let them know that I am going to be unpausing very shortly. But one thing I want to know is that most people outside of our top 2 players are basically going, if I can't beat them, destroy them. So hopefully we'll see some stuff ready to go, and I am going to hit the unpause button right now. We're going to get right in on this. I'm currently viewing from the point of view of Basilius Midgeman, of course, because here is the crusade that was spoken of. So not enough time for them to switch religion or anything. They've just surrendered it right away. Was that? Or did they convert? What happened there?
Nope.
I'm so confused. What did they lose? What was the crusade for?
I'm not
Did they lose Salerno to Jerusalem?
They gave him Sicily, I think.
No, Sicily's still there.
That went so
We're gonna
fast.
have to roll back the footage on that one. That happened so. Oh, was it Pomerania? Pomerania was theirs. Pomerania.
Right.
That's right. Thank you, chat, for pointing that one out. So it's a whole kingdom of Pomerania. Was already claimed by the Tims, so there's no extra point change. I think that's a good move from there to getting out of that war. Now we've got a truce timer on that. Crusade is like, yeah. I think that's a really good shout there from Spartini. Just getting out of that nice and quick. Now, there are quite a few other people at war right now. Namely, let's take a look at Snap Strategy, who is fighting for France. This pain that has been the loss of the Kingdom of France that has been plaguing them all game is hopefully about to be resolved. What do you think the power base is going to be like here if Snap can get control of France again?
Well, if Snap gets control of France again, then they're in a very strong position. I think that they can also probably attempt to go for Britain. I think they have half of the island. Actually, they have more because I forgot that Mordaith was a vassal. They're in a great position. I'm not sure if Kara is going to go for HRE, but if they wanted to attempt some shenanigans to expand that way as well, not a bad idea.
Yeah, totally agree. Yes. So just as a note on Mordaith, he did surrender his war. It's now the Queen of 5 points. I don't think that's going to work in the naming convention. I don't think you're going to get extra points for changing the name of your kingdom. Is now the sister of Mr. Grubbug McPrime of Wales. And yes, so currently, now there is a note here. Wales is in this rebellion against Francia. So Wales, I believe, has just been captured. We could see Snap Strategy steal a point here from Mordaith by de-landing the family there. It'd be very, very painful if they do. I will also note that Snap Strategy, currently, because of how the succession fell, they don't have Aquitaine either, so they actually hold no titular kingdom in France, which is why it's been so rough of late down here. And here we have some revocation of titles coming on in. Now, if they go overboard with this could annoy the remaining subjects and cause a little bit of issues. Oh no, Snap's character's just got consumption.
Oh.
They have no male heir right now, only females. So even if they revoke all of this, it might split. This could be a problem for them.
However, the eldest daughter does have a son, so maybe they can get back on track.
This just in. Kara has remade the Holy Roman Empire.
Oh my goodness.
Taking her to 13 points and tying with SpartiniMartini. The Holy Roman Empire is back, everybody. The Holy Chad Empire, should I say, is back on the board. It's currently an elective, and it will be elected into her family currently. Yeah, hey, those points are back. Now, can Spartini do anything about that? Not Spartini. Can the Grave One do anything about that? Yeah, I'd like to see them certainly make a go for it. I'm also really interested to see if... What is this murder plot? Oh, it's against a random family member. Okay, I was just double checking if Spartini was making a go here as well. But that's a huge point grab there for Kara. And I don't know how many of the other players have actually noticed her escapades down in Mali. But this is a whole host of kingdom titles she could grab if she starts really ramping through those wars. And also, it has to be said, if she can form Hispania, that could be another 5 points, which would take her firmly into the lead.
How likely is it, do you think, that we're going to see a Hispania form today, Midge?
I would say it's about 50% at this point. It's all going to come down to the requirements in the various phases of the Iberian struggle. To change to Holy Roman dominance, what does she need? Currently, it needs to be in the struggle phase, which it isn't in. We're currently in the opportunity phase. And other than that, I believe oh no, she needs to convert all of her de jure capital kingdom. So Al-Andalus needs to be completely Catholic or Sunni, whatever religion you're following. Currently, I don't believe it is. Yeah, no, there's still a lot of conversion that needs to be done. So if she can get that all converted, we'll see it. But that's the main regard right there. That's going to come down to the religious conversions, which is why Hispania was such a high point grab, because there are so many little requirements that you need to do to pull this off, depending on which ending you go for the Iberian struggle. Now, I'm sure there are people out there that might have a little bit of a sneaky or meta way of doing it, but in a multiplayer scenario, not even those are reliable. And I still stand by the 50% chance there. I'd like to see it. It'd be really cool to see all of those points on the board, but I'm not 100% certain on it. Now, I would need to check, how is the Kingdom of Wales doing? Kingdom of Wales has fallen out of the royal family of Mordaith. Mordaith back down to 1 point. No, Mordaith is at no points. They lost the Kingdom of Scotland as well. Oh boy. Mordaith, no points on the board anymore. How quickly it can change.
I thought the attempt was to put the sister on the throne so that it was still in the family.
Yep, it did. And then someone overthrew the sister.
Oh,
because the sister's position was too weak. And then his other family member seems to have lost Wales, probably down to Spartini. Not Spartini, due to Snap getting involved. Oh boy. Now, Snap didn't manage to get the Kingdom of France. They managed... Oh, okay. So they pulled Baldwin off of the throne of France, but they didn't revoke it. I wonder if that's down to crown laws.
They do have the Kingdom of Brittany.
Okay.
So that is a kingdom title, but not the Kingdom of France.
Yeah, the power base of having France back under tow. I think the priority here, Brittany, yes, it's a point on the board, but if Snap needs to do anything, they need these titles that are going to be able to help them hit other players.
Seeing how unstable France has been, do you think there's some potential to kind of overthrow and grab points away from Snap?
Oh, absolutely. I would say that this, outside of no points Mordaith, Snap is the weaker link. Despite being middle of the table currently with 5 points, thanks for that Brittany grab, they are nowhere near solid. They do not have the troop count. They do not have the coherency within the nation to be able to fend off. If Cara or Spartini came in, they would roll over them. And I really think that the person to be watching right now is the Grave One. The Grave One's a real kingmaker right now, sitting very unironically in the middle of the map, but also in the middle of the table of points. They've got their realm together. They've got 7,000 troops, which, you know, is enough. Oh my gosh. Have you looked at Tim 2 of Pomerania? They have 36,000 men to their name.
That is huge.
Because they're technically a holy ruler, they've got an obscene amount of mercenaries. 30,000 mercenaries right now. They are slowly fading away from the end of the crusade, but they've got such a bank because of the instant capitulation. The entire war chest went to the claimant. Therefore, all of the money, all of the prestige, all of the piety went to that member of Spartini's family. And of the Grave One's family. Gosh, I'm getting Spartini and the Grave One confused in my head today.
Yeah, that was a really great grab and a well-timed crusade.
Mm-hmm. Grave One here is actually going for a province, weakening Ancona again. They keep going for county wars here. I would be trying to get bigger claims than that. I don't know if there's any claimants they could invite and marry into the family and try and do it that way, but yeah, there's 15 claimants here. I feel like that there could be some maneuvers going on quite easily to try and get the whole of that title under wraps much quicker than county by county. Mordaith now is Duke So Very Hungry McGrubbug, a 3-year-old up here, a 3-year-old Duke with no points. At least they've got claims on all the titles, but oh, that's really, really rough.
How well do you think securing the Kingdom of Ireland? How realistic is that for Mordaith if they just tried to jump ship from their Scottish claims and just hop over? Do you think that they could get both, just one or the other?
So, I really feel like they need to get both their kingdoms back to be able to do this, because Ireland has 8,000 men. Ireland, as it stands, is stronger than Francia. It's almost. I would say more likely to be stronger than
say that.
And it does make the Irish in me like overly happy to see that. But I mean, vassals wise, of course they're not. But I'm looking also at the composition of the military strength here, and yeah, that's a scary little Irish force going on there. A lot of bowmen, 1,000 bowmen, which that's some high damage especially in the environment and the terrain over here in Ireland. And yeah, that's not going to be an easy task. You've also got to land on there, so if you mistime your landing, all sorts of havoc could pick up. I will say Scotland has been made independent of Francia. They're no longer beholden to the Kingdom of Francia, which is a bad thing again for Mordaith, which means not only will they have to try and, fight from underneath Scotland to regain that point, but to regain their Welsh point, they've got to go to war with snap strategy. Because Wales remained.
It's
really difficult position up there. Yeah. Absolutely. Hugely. This is what we meant in the whole talking of this. Like the whole time we've been casting, points can fluctuate so much in a blink of an eye by just the loss of titles. And this, unfortunately, it's hitting Mordaith right now, who has been... I know there's currently a rivalry between who is the unluckiest in this game, but I've got to say Mordaith is pretty much up there now. I think that's a solid point up there, but you can see and use Mordaith here as a case study of how instantaneously it can flip for a player. So, yeah, I don't think anyone is technically out the game yet, just because of how much this could flip in someone else's favor. There is another war going on in Francia, it looks like. They are currently losing a war to Aquitaine. This is a war against the tyranny. I think they'll have it. There's 17,000 people against 12,000 people, so a couple well-placed battles, and this should be okay. But I don't know. Is the tyranny wars? They kind of just they keep spiraling, and Snap really needs to get a handle on this situation. I think they need to go very tyrannical in their revoking of titles, not worry about the negative opinion of enemies, and just revoke everything, start again, find some new vassals, rip those kingdoms out of those people. At this point, we're in the final session. I think major plays need to happen, and the only way that Snap's going to put themselves in position to do that is if they get a grip of France.
Yeah, another thing that I think could be very beneficial for them would be trying to make as many children as possible to secure a bunch of alliances. Because if you keep having your vassals rise up against you, that takes your own military power away from you. And being able to call in an ally, right now they're only alliances with Sweden, but being able to call in allies, hey, come help me, my country's on fire, is actually an incredibly valid strategy.
Oh yeah, massively. Honestly, the alliance game is the way to play any CK, but none more so than this. And this is actually a very bad battle that they've taken here. Aquitaine is winning. Sweden's reinforcements not going to be enough because so many men have already retreated. I think this is just a fatal mistake here. Even the 30 commander advantage isn't going to save it. It's looking a bit more even now. That final tick may have come in at the right time. This is the perfect terrain for a lot of the men-at-arms here against the French. This was close. So close. And honestly, aggressive attacker here probably making a lot of the difference. Enemy fatal casualties is a really, really brutal stack. I always used to avoid that command trait, not really realizing how much of an impact fatal casualties actually made in a battle and in a war. It's really huge. And here we go. Here's the France war declaration. The instability of the realm they did manage to get a family member in charge of France, so there was a point gained there. But at the moment, it's making their actual, living situation very tenuous. So they gained France but lost England, so the points actually didn't change. My mistake. Snap strategy. I think you need to forget formalizing England, just deal with the French. I'm really surprised that they didn't take France directly themselves. I wonder if that was an inheritance thing, but it doesn't look like it. Really doesn't look like it. So I'll be interested to see if they can recover from this, because again, this is a huge war. They're now 8,000 and 8,000 versus 9,000. 8,000 versus 8,000 and 9,000 versus 6,000. It's doable, but if they time these battles wrong, it's going to be painful.
Yeah, I would like to see just the stabilization of France. I think if Snap can pull it off where they focus on their first war and then direct their attention to the second war, realistically, they may just have to go full mercs. The economy is there. They would be able to pull it off right now with over 1,000 ducats. They're going to have to go into debt for it, but that would probably be my go-to. Just hire the mercs and hope for the best.
Yeah, so I just actually found out that Snap was actually murdered with their previous characters, so they didn't get the revoke off in time because the character was in prison while they were murdered. And I think that's an AI murder by the looks of it. Oof, really rough.
Very brutal. Just a quick heads up. The Byzantines are back to being Orthodox. They have flipped from Judaism, so that's going to help a lot with some stability.
Yes, massively. Where do you think the Byzantines are going to expand, if we see them expand?
Well, realistically, I was kind of hoping for Hungary. I thought that would be a really nice point gain. And then I said this, I think, last week, but if they could take the Galicia, they could get another empire title under their belt with West Slavia.
Yes. Getting West Slavia into the family, I think, would be an amazing gain. I mean, West Slavia itself will be worth 2 points. The extra kingdom will be 1 point. That'll be an extra 3 points. Put them up to 16 points if they get hungry. 17 points if they grab things like Georgia. 18 points. And that steamroll really looks to be like carrying. And with almost 30,000 military strength, I think Byzantine White House here can really just start rolling with it and start really going for those. Honestly, I'm actually now thinking with how quickly they got out of that Holy War, the Crusade, they should have stayed Jewish and gone for just Holy Wars against kingdoms.
It would have been a really great CB, but it does make them a target. And also, previously to that, I was looking at the factions against them, and everyone was in open revolt. And now, if you take a peek at factions, there's a lot more stability with the vassals. And I think that that's actually maybe having your vassals have your back is a little bit better than having a good CB against people.
Yeah, no, I agree there. That if the position was untenable, then that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, they are already in the lead, so there is also that. Very much so.
Now, Kara's expansion, she has gone even further into the HRE. She now controls the northern half of Denmark. I think that the HRE might be unattainable for King Tim. It's looking pretty grave.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you.
Grave for the grave one, is it? Oh, well.
Yep.
Yeah, no, this is a lovely play by Kara here. I'm guessing a lot of these states, once you reform the HRE, just auto-vassaled in. The ones that she was missing, most likely. But look at her levy pool. Her military strength of almost 50,000. She can just stomp her way through anything.
There is something to be noted. Lotharingia right now has a 7-year-old ruler. That would be an easy grab.
Yep. There's 2 kingdoms in there as well. That's Frisia and Lotharingia.
So I potentially, if I were Tim, maybe that's where I would go. They've already got a little foothold. If they can pull it off, that would be probably where I would try to go.
Yep.
Oh, no.
France still having, and they managed to revoke Aquitaine as a title, but now the Aquitanian vassals have risen up in their own liberty war. I think, though, 3, 1, 2, 5... Technically, I think they're back up to 6 points for their family right now, which, you know, is a benefit. But yeah, Snap really is just, honestly, properly just rolling with the punches. I know we've been going, oh, this is not good. But you have to give them credit. They have been fighting non-stop wars. This is what, rebellion number 90 probably by this point. And they haven't given up. So there is that to be said. Snap. And the thing is, they're on the cusp of having everything under control. And hopefully with some nice plays here, we will see them actually come out of this on top. And all of this bloodshed will be worth it. Unfortunately, one of their armies got caught out by the French army, but they do have a major stack looking to go and attack. Tactical loss of those soldiers, perhaps. Oh no, an ally just came in. Who is this? What is this title? This is a Byzantine title.
Oh, that's lovely.
Is that? So one of the despots under the Quackhouse dynasty has come in as an ally of Sparta of Snap, using the extended and very powerful families of the Byzantines to other players' advantage. That's, I mean, yeah, if one player's doing really well, you might as well leech off that, I guess.
that is one thing when you're playing in an MP, regardless of kingdom title, empire title, whatever, your marriage acceptance rates are going to be mostly to the AI unless you can discuss like diplomacy with another player. And so it's going to make it very difficult when all of the great powers of the world are players. You're either going in for their vassals or for smaller AI controlled nations to be your ally. Also pointing out, Snap Strategy has a dissolution faction, can send an ultimatum in 13 months. So we might see yet another war here happening pretty soon.
Yet another war. Wow.
Unless they can somehow get that under control. But
it's got two
they've
members,
got a lot on their
and
plate.
mostly they're peasants.
They've got a lot on their plate.
Kara is in the consolidation phase now of the struggle. Can she complete the struggle in this phase? Oh, yep, England exploded.
That's actually very good for Mordaith.
Yeah, massively.
I'd like to see some Mordaith expansion with his little 4-year-old ruler.
Huh. It's the ability to form a kingdom in the Canary Islands if you get the development up. If every county in the Canary Islands has 10 development and is feudal, you can form a kingdom over there if you're Andalusian in culture.
That would be an easy little kingdom title.
Yeah, it really would.
The issue being that in order to end the struggle in the conciliation phase, you need to have less than 50% of Iberia. And I don't know if that's worth giving that up for the one kingdom point.
Yeah, at this point, it needs to be in the final phase, the compromise phase, I believe, for Kara to end it. Again, though, I think the main thing she's waiting on is these conversions. Need to get Malawadi out of Iberia.
Yep.
At least in Andalusia.
Do you think we're going to see anyone go after the Bizenquaks? I think being our leaders in terms of points, if I was another player, that might be how I would try to tear them down from a point perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the only person who can is Kara. Well, Kara definitely can. It doubles in points right now. But I think Kara is too busy holding on to their own position and gaining points elsewhere to really worry about Spartini. Because I mean, they're both drawing right now, I believe, in points. I'm just double checking Spartini's points just in case there has been an extra kingdom that I missed. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus 3 basically. Yeah, no, they're still on 13 each. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see if they do go to war, but I think they're just gonna let let them have each other's side of the map and go from there. If I'm totally honest, I'm reluctant to see, unless we see Kara just go, I'm going to declare war for the fun of it. I don't think we'll see these two fight. I think it's going to be up to the other 3 players to cause a conflict and possibly draw them in. There won't be a conflict on outright anyway. 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. Kara's on 14 points.
Oh.
She snuck in an extra kingdom. And I didn't tab out properly, so the screen is going weird. Apologies, everybody watching at home. So we're halfway through this first session of the first half of today. I thought we would see more crazy maneuvers from certain people, but there's still an hour and a half left of playtime. I think there's still a lot of room for that to happen. Snap is out of their wars. Snap is out of their wars. They managed to revoke the titles. That's looking good. The Dissolution faction is too weak now to send an ultimatum. This is really good for them.
If you were Snap, what would your next move be? Try to expand more? Retake England?
England has been such a pain for them right now, and with it completely dissolved, I don't think there's a lot of war for one title. However, if they could take out Ireland, cut off Mordaith, that's a one war grab possibly. Or I would be going, okay, what can I do in Russia? What can I do elsewhere? They have that staging point in Denmark. I feel like that's the better scenario right now.
Congratulations to Snap for finding their soulmate, one of their guests. That's always nice.
That's very cute. That's always very cute. And clearly you're a big Snap strategy fan today, as you're observing a Snap strat. To just in our player list, there's 2 Snap strategies. Yeah, you just can't help it.
Maybe that's why there's so much instability in the realm of France.
So, the Grave One. What do you think they're doing? What do you think they're planning right now? They've got a war for the High Chieftain Masirit right now. So they're going after Tripolitania.
Yeah, I think North Africa is free real estate for them. So long as militarily they're stronger than their opposition. I'm sad to see that they're not going to be able to take Sicily.
Yeah, they've been really
Sicily
blocked
fall
by
under
Spartini.
the Italians. Yeah.
They do have the Sardinia e Corsica title at the very least. They didn't get blocked out completely there. I think grabbing Africa they've already got most of Africa. That's a really good grab. I think that's been a recent war because it seems to be all directly held and very low control there. And now this other grab of Tripolitania. What would they require for the Empire of the Maghreb? Oh, so this is part of Maghreb.
It's giant. Yeah, that I was just looking at that as well. It's unfortunate how big it really is. And then even if they were to expand east into Arabian Empire, that's also a very large tract of land to form that empire title.
Mm-hmm. That being said, I still think, for example, in terms of Italy, solidifying this region and the whole of the Maghreb is a far easier task than, say, France here going after England.
Yes.
In terms of the amount of wars. I'd say that this isn't unfeasible. It's also interesting to see that this nation completely fell apart, because this was all one nation. Up until very recently, it was allied with Kara.
That may have something to do. Those back-to-back wars may have something to do with the reason that they've all fallen apart.
Yeah. Kara just subjugated Mali.
Oh.
So she doesn't have that kingdom title. But being a vassal now, that definitely opens up to that being a possibility. How far away is she from the Empire of Mali? Oh, a long way. That's a huge Empire title as well. I'm surprised the Empire titles down here are so big. In Africa, it feels very solidified compared to the rest of, like, say, Europe.
Yes, but I also think that in terms of expansion, by the time you're European and you're getting down here, you probably have the military to continuously just sort of roll through unless there's a really strong alliance web.
See if she's got any schemes going on. Got a sway scheme on the Pope and on the King of Mali. Okay. Maybe this is a tactical thing of Mali, make them a friend, and then give them all of the random leaders down here to cut down on vassals, perhaps? Or hope that they expand on their own down here, if they're powerful enough? Perhaps.
Could very well be. Could also be maybe for marriage acceptance purposes.
Possibly.
And, or to try to get them to convert.
I don't think I've seen the symbol for loyal before.
Oh yeah, it's really cute. The puppy.
I don't think I've seen that. That's great. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good papa. It's a CK best
It's
boy.
a good boy.
I'm well, racing our screens as a papa apparently. Yeah, Tim finishing those wars. I love this move from the Grave One. Really going, okay, my path to the right is gone, my path to the north is gone, my path to the east is gone, let's go south. And they've made a very good go of it already. I hope we start seeing some kingdoms form up out of those very, very soon. Africa is... they need 3 more counties and they can usurp that. Sorry, 4 more counties and they can usurp that. But, real good to know. Oh no. Snap strategy died.
Oh no.
They're a king. They lost the empire title to a different family member.
Uh-oh.
And they have a family member who has Aquitaine but is Jewish. Burgundy formed up. Wait, Burgundy formed up? Well, they gained a free point from this because due to inheritance laws, I think they just gained a kingdom. Because it formed the kingdom of Burgundy there. So yeah, 1 for Denmark, 1 for France, 1 for Aquitaine, 1 for Burgundy, 1 for Brittany. That's 5. And then plus the empire titles, 7. Yikes. Snap strategy again.
Now, losing the emperor title for themselves isn't the worst, so long as their family is still in control. It just does sort of change their power moving forward now. Oh no.
Okay, the kid's going to war. I mean, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pans out for them. To be fair, they do have the army right now for this to happen. The Emperor of France are only 3,000 people. They've got 17,000 on their side. As long as no allies come in, this should be dealt with. They're already sieging the capital. Ile-de-France, though, is a slow capture. It's a very, potent fort for this period. Dying so soon really doesn't help. Again, mysterious circumstances. I think this is just the AI at this point, just due to how tyrannical they're being forced to being, murdering them off, and those characters that Snap has been playing just not having the intrigue to defend themselves. In fact, I think with this new character, I would be aiming for someone with really high intrigue as a betrothal that I could just set to defend me.
Yep.
At this point, with the amount of murders that have been going on, having your wife set to court intrigue, having a good and friendly spy master, I'd be trying to set that up as soon as possible. But then again, with so much on Snap's plate, it's hard to... we have the beauty of oversight and being stepped away and seeing everything going on. They have to act and be very reactive, and they've been being reactive since Session 2. Here comes a claim of France war, which could put the brakes on this claim of the Kingdom War. We shall see.
I would like to know what the average ruler age for Snap would be for the last session and this session. Oh, this is a big war.
Yeah, this is a huge war. They've just lost. Basically, it's gone from them declaring war on an OPM to being an OPM being declared war on at the same time. So, I mean, the two forces are going to be hostile to each other, but boy, oh boy, is this going to be rough. 27,000 enemies coming in here.
Gained the paranoid trait, very fitting.
Yeah,
for what's going on.
I feel like that trait is like necessary at this point. Poor old Snap here. It was like it was looking so good for them until they were murdered, and we are snapped back to reality. The wars of France continue. Byzantine Emperor sitting pretty on their titles. Nothing else much going on.
They actually control most of West Slavia. I am wondering
they took a
what
chunk
they
out
would
of
need
Galicia.
to form that title.
Let's take a look, shall we? Actually, let's jump on over. So West Slavia can be created right this second.
That would be an empire title, pardon me.
Yeah, and they've got so much ducats right now. 5,000 plus 45 income. Super good. I think they're probably holding off on the title creation right now because their character is 46 and ill. So they probably don't want it falling out of direct control.
Right, succession for sure.
Yes.
Smart move.
Yeah, I feel like, oh, it's the Kingdom of Syria managed to take some of that land over there. Interesting. Under House Quack House Athens.
We are seeing another war here with King Tim.
Oh.
Defending this one.
Ooh. Defending on a... Is this an internal war in Chad? I think this is an internal Chad war.
So they're probably not getting involved, but odd alliances. If that were me, I don't know if I would want to be allying into that giant empire.
Yeah, that does seem a little bit risky. I do have to say. I'm just interested to see what Kara is going to do, because a couple of kingdom titles have begun forming up down here in the western half of Africa, and I'd like to see that they're currently doing a war for the Duchy of Defanu that they're about to complete, which might be able to allow them to revoke another kingdom title, the Kingdom of Ghana here. I don't think it will be quite enough, but it will be like they'll be able to do it in the next war after this, which will be really good for them. An extra point. You love to see it. How goes the France conflicts?
It's
Snap strategy is no longer a king. Snap strategy is no longer a king. They lost the Kingdom of France.
lost the empire.
But they're at war for the empire because they surrendered France. They surrendered France to go for the bigger goal.
Yep, that's very smart.
Now, who holds the Kingdom of France? The Emperor does.
Yeah.
How did the Emperor get it in that war? What happened?
Did the Kingdom of France rise up to give it to his liege that he's currently at war with and going to revoke the titles of?
I think that might have been some of the revocation
No,
situations.
so France declared war on Snap for someone's claim. I thought it was the character that was fighting the war, but I think it's because France who wouldn't have been able to revoke a title whilst at war with that individual. So I think the vassals of France pushed the Emperor of Francia's claims on the Kingdom of France, surrendered it, but now the Emperor of Francia is still at war with Snap, who is now the Duke of Bourbon. And oh my gosh, the brain math of what's going on here, and they still might lose this, and then Snap will get both titles back, perhaps. Also, I will say, just to add to the unluckiness of Snap, they seem to have the serial killer event chain going on right now.
Yeah. I did notice that.
Which means they might have some family members start dying here. Luckily, it normally targets those in court, but I have seen it go for direct family members not in court. If you're in the same realm, so this could be very interesting.
The generational gameplay of CK3 is probably my favorite part about it. You can do so well with a certain ruler. You can do well with 3-4 rulers in a row, and then all of a sudden you have like that great grandchild of your original ruler, and everything just falls apart.
Mm-hmm. I would like to just point out, Kara is running away with this game in the points right now.
Yeah.
With the acquisition of the Holy Roman Empire, she's actually managed to vassalize Moravia now, forming Bohemia. She's managed to clean up a lot of Bavaria, grab that as a kingdom, reformed the Kingdom of Germany. She's sat currently on 15 kingdom titles and the Holy Roman Empire for a total of 18 points. And Snap won his war. He's now the emperor, but he lost the kingdom. The kingdom remained. So he's gone from having loads of vassals in France helping him fight to France going, no, we want to be under the emperor. And then, okay, they gave up that title. So they've switched. They've switched places, essentially. The King of France switched places with the Emperor of Francia. Brain explode. Massively explode.
If you were Snap, what would you do in this instance? Now you've reclaimed your emperor title. How do you go back, reclaim all
right
those
now,
kingdom titles?
Snap has a player war to fight. Because in the midst of all the chaos, Mordaith was going for Wales again. And now Snap is in charge. So we have the two fighting each other. All the while, there are people being murdered in Snap's court by an AI serial killer. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if there's been multiple of these AI serial killer events in the case of Snap right now, with the amount of people they have lost. Oh boy, it kind of sums everything up. Like, I don't know which god of death Snap annoyed, but it seems to be one that has a lot of control over CK, because they are having really no luck. Yeah, but here we have a player conflict going on. France about to drop some troops on the Scottish forces here. It's in the hills, so this could go in their favor. It depends on the composition here. 18 knights is a good amount, but unfortunately, those reinforcements are going to cut it short. I think Mordaith is going to have to back down from this war. Let Mordaith be free! Give Mordaith his points back! Please! If you don't, he'll eat me.
And just to go back to the game rules themselves, it's not possible to unland a character from their starting duchy. Am I correct with that?
Yes.
And so no rules have been broken by keeping Mordaith back to his original.
Yeah. Currently, for example, Snap doesn't control their main duchy, but that's due to AI and other shenaniganery. Basically, as how it would work is if Snap's strategy was kicked out of the game, it came out again. Sorry, I just got scared by my headphones telling me they're full on charge. Threw me for flows. They did a firmware update, and now my headphones speak to me. It used to just be a series of beeps and stuff that were really quiet, but now it's a woman's voice, and it's the freakiest thing in the world. Anyway, I was saying, if Snap dies now and is like unlanded and is game overed, they would take over as whoever is in charge of their starting duchy. Essentially, which would be a member of their family right now, quite luckily. But yeah, it seems Mordaith backing down from that war, unable to fight it anymore now that there is a player in control. Yeah, it's very sad that it is the case. Wait, what? Mordaith is the King of Wales.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I wonder if some backroom deals were done there. They just had a glory battle for the fun of it. Oh, you took... Oh, I'm just reading the Discord chat. Mordaith took France's capital whilst that battle was happening and captured it.
Genius. Absolutely genius.
Because, of course, being a kid, Snap strategy doesn't have the chance of not being in the capital.
Correct.
Beautiful play. Beautiful play. A point back on the board. And do you know what that means? Meat's back on the menu, boys. Oh dear, another person being murdered in Snap's court. How's the Grave One doing over here in Africa? No, currently still... They're caught in this Iberian reclamation war for their allies. This is really going to slow down their ability to invade as well if they've got their armies raised, which they currently don't seem to. So technically, they could go fight that war, and that war's over anyway. So yeah, I'd really like to see that they need to step up the pace. There is 7 minutes left of the half, which means at the end of it, there's going to be, you know, they need to go. They need to. Come on. You've got to make... And there we go. They're going for another war in Italy. For the Emirate of Karakoon, this is going to be the last thing they need for the Duchy of... for the Kingdom of Africa. It's going to be such a good grab. And the thing is, the Kingdom of Africa, the AI right now, has been slowly forming up in the Maghreb. So it's possibly going to refracture this again and make it even easier for Timali to actually just gain more titles around here. This is a beautiful sneaky play.
I would like to see them go for the Timmy Emirate just for the namesake. It's like the same name CD. That's yeah, just to the south.
Where did I see that? It was
Africa?
Yeah, over here, yeah. I had to check that this wasn't a dynasty like break off of the Tims, because I noticed this earlier and I was like, wait,
I did that. I did the exact
this is
same
getting
thing.
ridiculous now that there's two of them. Yeah, but hey, this is good play here from the Grave One. This is a really good play, and they've actually almost solidified Italy. Real talk. Do you think they can be in a position to unland the Pope and grab the 2 kingdom titles from the Pope? It'd be one because they wouldn't actually hold the papacy.
I would like to see that. But I enjoy beating up the Pope in all Paradox games, so...
The Pope is really difficult to deal with, though, if they've got a large gold chest, because no matter what, no matter how many mercs they hire, the Pope will not run out of money. So you've got to try and hit them when they've spent the most of it. And right now, the price is quite low, but they've got 10k men to their name, naturally. Only 13k from Timsley. I think that's kind of undoable. But someone like Kara right now with the 51,000 could smack their way in, no problem, should they want to. Go in, kick the Pope off his chair, and take his hat. Just CK things.
We've got Byzantium biting into Wallachia. It's a duchy war, but I think that would be just another kingdom title that they might be able to acquire.
Yep. Absolutely. And in fact, with only 5 minutes left of this half right now, what would you like to see? You can answer that question after your O is answered.
I just clicked on Bulgaria, and it's me, JibblyJam, and I am a nudist. So that's good. I would like to see JibblyJam put on clothes. I would like to see Spartini take the West Slavia Empire title. I'd like to see Tim grab North Africa. I think if they can start expanding that way, that's a lot of points for them. I'm really glad that Mordaith has gotten the Kingdom of Wales back. I think going back for claims into Scotland, maybe going after Ireland might be nice.
Yep.
And I would love to see a Hispania form, but looking at the phases right now, it's gonna be close, depending on what happens in the second half.
Mm-hmm. So I wanna put an idea to you.
Okay.
When it gets to it, for the final 15 minutes of play, what if we say there are no rules?
That is beautiful.
It's the last session. I feel like, so it doesn't get staying right at the end.
Yeah.
We just free for all.
The free for all.
We'll just announce it to
we
the
might
players
see some crazy Hail Mary plays.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? Do you know what? There wasn't enough bloodshed for me in this first half. I needed more from them. Yeah. I'm very disappointed. I mean, I'm very happy that we see the HRE again. But I would like to see some absolute chaos. And I want to know what chat's thought is. Our wonderful live chat that are here with us today for this CK3 finale of this first season of Family Affair. What do you think? Final 15 minutes free for all? But we shouldn't tell the players. We should try to not tell the players as much as possible because, I know they're probably listening, the evil ones that they are. But, they got to leave them surprised. It may or may not happen, players, if you're listening. But yeah, chat, just between you and me. Just between you and me. Let me know. What do you think? What do you think? And perhaps maybe even someone in the studio could get a vote going. And then if it goes through, then perhaps we will just announce it and see what the players think.
That could be very dangerous with the no rules final 15 minutes. You could have a player coalition go against, the leaderboard winner. That would undo absolutely everything that players have been attempting to do.
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah, we'll see. So
it's a very spicy thought.
Yeah, it is. I just feel like, but also 15 minutes is enough time that even if you are so outnumbered, I feel like a player could hold out. I think, especially with the amount of manpower, for example, that Kara has, if all of the players ganged up on Kara in the last 15 minutes, providing that the character doesn't die, and this is the stats that we have right now, I feel like you could hold out. But we're in the final minute of this half ish. But go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if you add up all the other players' military power, it's pretty equal to Kara.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Battle of the Titans. The real issue would be there is the level of micro it required.
Yeah.
Kara, it would be up to Kara to hold off the brain power of 4 players, which I think that would really swing it. But I would like Kara right now is in a dominating position. 18 points last time I checked. It's probably more, if I'm totally honest. But we are seeing another Byzantine war and another declaration here for the aggravate of Djerba, going for a kingdom down here. There actually might have been another Kingdom Conquest here in the Spartini camp. I will double check Spartini's current points. The thing is like Kyra and Spartini both have got a different strategy of what they're doing with titles as well. Spartini is giving it to family members but keeping it under one empire, whereas Kyra's hoarding. Kyra's got a little box full of crowns that she's just locking away and going, no, these are mine. But yeah, I'll yes, exactly that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus 3.
Oh,
and yes, that is the pause. We're coming in. So that's our first half today, Ghibli. What do you make of it? What do you think we're going to see?
I think we're seeing players and we see their end goal. We see what they are trying to do, and I'm loving every minute of it. I think right now the Mediterranean is pretty hot, especially with Tim going for North Africa. I'm glad to see that Snap has finally seemed to get a bit of a handle on France. That's a big one for me. That could have been very detrimental, especially, the first half of the session. We were seeing, Snap just try to hold on to everything that they, have built for 3 weeks now. And then to have to watch it all get destroyed is pretty brutal. It has been very exciting gameplay.
Yeah. I just want to say, Ghibli, apparently the despot JibblyJam died gout-ridden as well whilst we weren't looking. So your
well, that's what happens when you're, wearing no clothes for the majority of your life.
But we'll see you guys in a moment. Our council is ready, so we're going to throw it back to the studio. See you soon.
Wow, was that a packed hour there? And Kara, congratulations on taking the lead. And
thank you.
So what was that about? Maybe not going after the HRE?
Yeah, are you?
Just a little bit of a subtle diversion. I knew immediately I was going to try to get it.
Lying to the
one
host.
unfortunate thing is in return, I wasn't able to get Hispania, I don't think, because the phases, I wasn't able to get it into the opportunity phase. So
yeah. I
was the best I could do.
I was sitting out there laughing, and that's actually what I said to cKnoor right away. I was like, she lied to me.
We'll have to talk about this afterwards.
Just a little white lie.
I mean, I don't blame you. Honestly, that's a great diversion tactic for anyone, especially with the Grave one.
Well, let me, before we go any further, here's a quick one. So I'm sure all of you listened when Kara said she wasn't going for the HRE. If I can get a raised hand or an eye for anyone that actually believed her an hour ago.
No.
I mean, so like, if you're only tricking the studio, I mean,
apparently it doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, definitely the Grave one really didn't seem like he was going to move towards it at all. So, I mean, I think that he knew she was full of crap. But I mean, good for him. And SpartiniMartini. So now that you've been pushed to second place, do you have a plan to knock her down off of first place?
I have a plan.
Okay.
But we'll see how far we get.
Okay. Well, yeah, we definitely, I mean, you could see what happens in an hour. I mean, Kara, she did jump up.
She did, 5 points.
Kara did amazing. She got so
more
much.
than that. I think 8 points.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It's disgusting. I can't believe you took that many points. It's very impressive.
And poor Snap strategy. Oh my gosh. Matt, you keep getting murdered.
Honestly, if this is a single player game, I would have quit like 6 hours ago. I'm not even lying. I'm gone.
That's fair. I understand that. I think it would have just said like, I've had enough.
Mordaith, you're looking happy.
I lost everything and I got Wales back, and out of an act of desperation, we managed to pull off a win against a very superior foe.
I mean, it's the small things, right?
That's right. That's right.
Grave One, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty confident in maybe third place. That's the goal. Without the HRE, I don't think a second or first is in my sight, unless we get a war going. But I don't think I'm strong enough to take the HRE. I don't know if all of us together are strong enough to take the HRE. So it's going to be interesting. Maybe we will be some messages to see if that happens or not.
It's not like they haven't lied to the studio before.
Right, exactly. So they could just sit there and go, if they were kind of smart, maybe all team up and go after one. But in all fairness, Kara's already proven that she's not going to give up. So maybe the stubbornness.
So we have an hour of game time left, and one of the things you should never do when you're sitting in a studio talking to 5 people over video call is ask an open question, because it never works.
That's true.
So I'm going to ask an open question. There's an hour left. Does anyone want to make a claim about a cool play that they're going to make and have done by the end of this session? Just to get brownie points, essentially, from me. Good.
I'll get murdered again.
Okay, yeah,
At
that's
least
fair.
twice.
I'm going to murder someone.
Okay, yeah.
Not saying anything.
Or murder as in you're going to eat someone, or murder is you're going to be like Kara and stab him in the back.
If I could eat someone, I would.
Also, to be fair, anyone murdering Snap Strategy doesn't count. It's too many.
It's happened too many times.
Yeah, like pick on someone your own size.
I mean, that might be difficult, though, because Snap keeps becoming a child. So, I mean, pick on someone your own size. I guess maybe if they send over one of their kids.
Stop murdering kids, everyone.
Bullies. Every one of you, bullies.
I don't have any other hard-hitting questions. Do you have any hard-hitting questions?
I don't. And I think that we're actually ready to throw back to our casters. So everyone go get ready, and best of luck to all of you. And we will be back in an hour to crown one of you the victor.
See you then.
So I've had it confirmed from chat that the last 15 are going to be a free-for-all, Jibbly.
Yes! I'm very excited. I'm super excited. CK3 to me is a game that's a lot more about diplomacy and less about the wars themselves. You can play an entire campaign of CK3 without, doing a war for conquest if you are able to, take all of your thrones. But I would love to see a free for all.
Yep. And the thing is, a free for all. That's the rule. That's the rules. We take those rules, we put them in a bin, we cover them in petrol, we set it on fire. All rules are out, which means murder free. It's not just wars. It is everything is on the table. So with that in mind, let us unpause and get back into this final hour of A Family Affair. Oh, it is exciting to be back in this. Wow.
Are the players going to know until?
Yeah, no, I mean,
know?
No, the players have an idea. I'm pretty sure they're now like super tense to the fact that I'm going to be shouting at them, "Hey, all the rules are out at the last 15 minutes." But they have to play by the rules until then. I wonder if anyone will actually start setting up for that though, and maybe making some plans and machinations. But I want to just say a big thing of all of our players have put on a wonderful show this entire series so far. Like Snap Strategy has had the worst time of it, but they were saying in that council that if this was a single player, that they would have given up. So I think it needs to be heralded, like just how much like effort they are putting into this game. Kara coming out with the game of her life right now. SpartiniMartini showing what looks like a very, very uneasy start and turning it into one of the most solid Byzantine empires I've ever seen, let alone in a multiplayer scenario. Tim, plans didn't really go their way for quite a while, but they've clawed it back now, like a solid, like 18k men, a very solid Italy, and then Mordaith, the fan favorite, the man who eats man. It is in a dog-eat-dog world. Mordaith went for a finer meat, and they have stuck to their guns no matter what, and kept the charade of a game that they've been playing going. So it's just like all of our players are one wonderful and doing a wonderful job at this game. And I think Mordaith's whole game here has inspired me that I want to do a cannibal run. I don't think I've actually done a cannibal run of CK3. I've definitely done it in CK2, but I don't think I've done one in CK3. And now I really want to see one here. Currently at war against the tyranny.
Have just allied. So
themselves.
We're seeing some player alliances happening. I'm curious to know what sort of schemes are going on.
Mordaith and the Grave One have allied. Interesting. The Grave One just took a huge chunk out of Ancona. I wonder if it's enough to usurp it. No, you can't, because the Kingdom of Ancona doesn't have any de jure land. I think the only way to get that title is, I think it will get destroyed if they unland the Queen of Ancona. I think you need to do that through a marriage and pushing a claim. Oh, hang on. Ancona's heir is a Tim.
Oh!
They've already sussed it. Love that from the Grave One. Excellent play right there. Is this Byzantine troops sieging down a part of... No, it's not. I was going to say, that can't be Byzantine troops sieging down a part of Chad there. We didn't miss something huge. Whoa! Kara just taking a massive, massive chunk out of one of the kingdoms down here. The Kingdom of Gur. Oh, it's the Kingdom of Kong. Ah, now... Kara is soon to be the King of Kong. It was not
Very
beauty
close,
that killed the beast. It was Chad.
Less than 20 provinces to take the Empire of Mali for Kara.
Wow. Wow.
So
that's excellent.
We're probably going to see that pretty quickly at her rate of expansion.
Yeah, that's really good. She requires money right now to be able to usurp some titles down there. I think, honestly, economy is going to be what holds Kara back from an absolute mass expansion. But do you know who doesn't have that problem right now? Spartini, who is sitting on almost 12k ducats. That's a lot of empires that they can create. A lot of kingdoms do. In fact, there's one that is almost usurpable. For them again, really starting that expansion. I want to see them do some really some big pushes down into the Holy Land and maybe up into the Caucasus as well. I just want to see mass expansion from all the players as well. I really like that Tim Italy have taken Jerusalem under their wing directly. It was a family member, but I think they saw the writing on the wall of how close the Byzantines were getting and were like, no, I need this under my direct control. I can't have this being sniped from underneath me. I think that's a really good play. Currently, however, the Kingdom of Pomerania isn't under them, so they could get sniped, but I think it's strong enough to withstand at least a little bit of punishment. Wales, again, was in a massive war, but I think they must have ended. The war's ended, but I don't think they gained anything from it. So I don't know if it was a. Sorry, what? Why is the Byzantines in Wales?
Oh no!
The despot of Poland has taken. Sorry, my brain is computing. This is the most cursed England I think I've ever seen in CK3.
Yeah, it's fractured.
We have
prepared.
Byzantines, we have fractured, we have Scottish Wales, Welsh Wales, Welsh Scotland. We have Independent Somerset, Francian parts of Shropshire, and yeah. This is just a mess. This is a mess. I don't want to look at it anymore. I'm moving away. The Byzantines going to war again. This is for part of Romania. Good try and grab here. What's the kingdom title here? Oh, Moldavia. Moldavia here. Actually quite a small kingdom title. So that that's a really quick grab, I think, if they can get those ducal claims. But unfortunately, these are county claims right now. Actually, it's a county claim for a part of Wallachia. Looking, I'm guessing, to usurp that Wallachian kingdom title, which will be a really good gain as well.
This will probably be the war for it. They don't need much to take it. Curious to see that Croatia has gone completely untouched. Seems like another pretty small kingdom title to go for.
I wonder if Snap Strategy has managed to catch their murderer or not yet. They are of age now. They are 19 years old. The realm looks a lot more solid and safe. Let's look at those factions. Oh no, there is a claimant faction. I'm not even sure who this is. Oh, this is one of this is the brother of King Pierre.
Oh no. Now again, they have the empire title, but they do not have their kingdom titles. So I'm the Kingdom of France. So I'm wondering, do you think it's worth it to go for that, press that claim?
I honestly think the better bet right now is to murder off Aquitaine and Burgundy. As soon as there's a bun in the oven with Empress Linda here. Again, though, Empress Linda, not a great ally, not a great wife in terms of stats. I think she was pulled in because she is the kid of the King of Sweden.
Yeah.
Which leaves currently Snap Strategy's heirs being his brothers, the kings of Burgundy, Brittany, and Aquitaine. Just removing one of them would increase his power base massively, but also opening him up to, more vassals who could be angry at him. So it's a tense situation, a very tense situation.
Now, one thing that we haven't actually really taken that much of a look at are people's courts. Kara is second in the world, and the Chola Kingdom is actually number 1. So we have an AI number 1 court.
The who?
The Chola Kingdom.
Where is that?
Maharaja Sivakolontan. Chola is
down
South
here.
India. Yep.
Okay. The most fanciful court in the world is in South India, and then Kara.
Yep. The Bizenquaks are number 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not seeing anybody else on the list quite yet.
Kara's got another kingdom.
Oh.
So that I'm just double checking in case she's made one elsewhere that I haven't seen. 1, 2. She's got another 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, hang on. It closed because she declared a war. Let's try this again. I think it's a war for another kingdom as well. Boy, oh boy, is it crazy down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 kingdoms. Plus 3. No, that's the same. Wait, what? She gained Kong. What did she lose in that case? 1. Oh gosh, my menus keep closing. Let's go for the renown way. See if I can get.
To see.
Has it been given out to a family member? Perhaps.
Could be. She's had incredibly large families.
But she's managed to keep it in control there. Maybe I just missed a line of counting. Hold on. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, she's on the same amount of points. Hang on. What? Did I miscount before? Okay. Well, my point total is correct. I think my point total before might have been off. The points are correct. That's all I care about. This current war that Kara's fighting is for a duchy in this northern West African kingdom, which also has solidified up. Does this duchy give her... There is a new kingdom there, the Kingdom of Jenny.
Right now, King Tim fighting the Pope.
King Tim's fighting the Pope?
Yeah. I love watching the Pope burn.
Spicy war. This is a very good battle. It's a very good battle. In fact, the Pope might not get there in time, so the battle's going to reset. This is going to be an attack in the mountains here for the Pope. 7,000 versus 15,000. This is going to be a sheer defeat. I love that Italy is also using pikemen in the mountains. Huge stat bonus to them being there. That's the favorable terrain. 1,100 spearmen that are just going to absolutely wreak havoc. The Pope is definitely down, but not out. They've spent most of their wealth as well, but they're still earning 70 gold a month right now, even with mercenaries, even with all their men raised, which means they are just going to be able to reinforce faster than you can. So this war is going to be swift and decisive. And the problem with that is Rome itself is very difficult to siege. Also, Ancona finally under House Tim, the Grave One, gaining themselves a 5th kingdom, putting them up to 5 points.
Now,
Yeah, this
what
battle
is it
here
that they
against the Pope
stand to gain
not going as
this?
well. This Pope Paper War? It's for Latium. The Jure War for the Prince Bishopric of Latium. Unfortunately, that combat did not go in Tim's favor there. The Pope using that superior men-at-arms to fantastic use. The Pope does get crossbowmen early, apparently. That would be due to holy orders, perhaps? Being vassals? I'm not sure. Either way, they were outputting a lot more damage than what Tim could sustain.
Numbers are
it's actually then
pretty even.
they were,
These
but
battles.
that battle was favorable to Tim, and Tim lost. Was why I'm like, the most effective units there for the Pope were the pikemen, the heavy armored footmen, and even though they had a terrain penalty, the archers and the crossbowmen still did a lot of damage here. You can see having crossbowmen this early is scary. They have 60 damage right now. And that's almost double anything that a normal men at arms will put out. That's Be afraid. Be very afraid.
They're just going the siege route. If it's siege race versus siege race, if they're lucky, there's less land for them to siege down than the Pope has to siege down in Italy, so...
Yep. I worry about it, though. House Tim does not have many mangonels.
Correct.
Got a lot of room for them, but no money either, so... Yep. And the Pope, like I said, is just going to keep getting more and more gold. They're already up to 1,000. I've seen it before. The Pope has hired out the entire list of mercenaries. Right now they haven't. But if they get... Oh, the Pope just went down in cash. I think that was another mercenary band getting hired. Yeah, they're clearly getting the crossbows from the freelancers or the Sicilian band, who do have crossbows already in the spirit, which is insane. Mercenary companies tend to get it early, and that also one of the things, it's a good hot tip for CK players. If you can establish a holy order when you're in this period. I didn't mean to pause the game. I was trying to click something else. They can also spawn with crossbowmen, depending of what culture you are. I believe if you're French, they can spawn with crossbowmen, or if you're Northern Italian, they can spawn with crossbowmen if you have them as a vassal, which can be very, very potent. Very, very potent.
like we're starting the siege on Rome.
Yep. And you can see there not enough siege equipment there to make good progress. This is going to be super slow going.
The attrition is hurting, but they still have like 2/3 manpower, so if they don't get attacked, this could be...
Yeah, they've just got to hope that the AI doesn't push them. But the AI does have more troops, and once these sieges are down in Capua and Napoli, there's a good chance that they will push. Whilst, if you can keep an eye on that, I'll have a quick scope around the rest of the map. Call me back if things are going awry. Cara is right now at war with France.
Oh,
wait, what? No, this is wrong. This is wrong. I clicked the wrong.
Yeah.
Apparently, I must have clicked the French army. Oh boy. Snap is at war with France again. This is what's going on. And they're currently losing, unfortunately. It's a war against the tyranny. They do outnumber them in men, though, so it should go their way. And that actually will get them direct control of France again, hopefully, by the end of this war. Scared myself for a moment there. I tried to click on Cara, but I think I clicked Snap. Good. Cara just sitting pretty on all her many crowns. Instead of an iron throne like of swords, like in Game of Thrones, I like to believe that Cara is like sitting on a throne made of thrones or crowns that she's just collected from all these kingdoms. Oh, interesting. So that's how this paper war is happening. House Tim managed to usurp the kingdom of Romanol from the Pope.
I see.
So that's how there's a de jure war going on here. So yes, that actually puts their point total to 6 rather than 5.
We've got 3 days left on the Rome siege. They've gotten it. Still 87% in the war. So as long as they don't get attacked by the Pope, this should be a win.
Mm-hmm. You want to know something that I've just found that's really interesting?
What's that?
Mordaith has a claim on Poland.
Ooh.
I'm guessing they were like de jure, they were like fabricating a claim in that little Byzantine plot of land in Wales, which is owned by the despot of Poland. So therefore, instead of getting the claim for the county, they got a free claim on the... Oh no! The battle in Italy! The Pope pushed in on the last percentage sticks, and the Italian army has been sent packing. That's a massive, massive loss. And that just shows just how good those later game men-at-arms are from those big mercenary companies. Absolutely come crashing on in. The more men, the more damage, and Italy just melted. Absolutely melted. That's a bad time for Tim. And now the Pope is going to try and besiege Rome. And they're going to be able to do it very quickly. Yeah, that's a really rough one there. But yeah, I don't know if Mordaith will be in a position where they can push it, mainly because Poland does sit underneath the Byzantine still. But, you know, they play their cards right, they time it right. There's a chance. There is a chance we could see Welsh Poland.
There appears to be an alliance right now. Mordaith's daughter is married to Midgeman. A grandson of Basilius Midgeman.
Oh. So forget everything I just said. In fact, that there's a chance that we're seeing the battle lines being drawn and the alliances start out.
Now, that's not an alliance with Byzantium.
Oh, really?
No, but
Okay.
it's just a prince of the empire. But they are allied to King Tim. They are allied to Emperor of France.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're seeing the alliance power right now of Wales kind of skyrocket. So we might see some big wars, unless they're all gearing up for that last 15-minute free-for-all, in which case, that's what I would be.
Either way, I'm here for it. I live for the bloodshed at this point. And I would like to see everything be up for grabs. And the thing is, like I said, with this whole game mode, because players can also lose points as well as gain them, everything is always up for grabs. Yeah, I'm not feeling this Pope War for Tim. They lost the Siege of Rome. It backed down from 79. Yeah, it did. This is the thing. The Pope never lets up. You've got to do a lightning war against them. You really do. Because the Pope never goes into debt.
Been big.
Yeah. But then again, they would have to have lost out on other men-at-arms. And splitting their army here has done them dirty. 5,000 men are going to be put to the sword. And that's going to be a stack wipe.
Oh, stack wipe.
Yep. So if we get the details of that combat there, all 5,700 men died to 500 of the Pope's troops. I actually want to get the details here and we find out where most of them died. Most of them seem to have died to the light cavalry of the Pope's army there, which they have over 2,000 light cavalry. So that would explain that. I'm guessing most of it in the pursuit phase there, just with the huge numbers. And they white-pieced out with the Pope. I feel like that's a good... Wait, what?
That's a smart decision.
Is my map glitched or has Italy exploded? Okay, my map was glitched.
It's glitched.
I
looked over at your screen and I was like, oh no.
I will say that Tim 2 apparently stole the Pope's hat. But was captured by the Pope.
Probably not going to
be. The King of Pomerania has the Pope's hat. Sorry, Tim 2-3, should I say? Yeah, it's just like, give it back. And he's just sat behind the bars like, no, this is mine. You lost, give it back. No. Look at that. Snap strategy. Devolving into chaos again.
It's classic France, though, am I right? A lot of rebelling and protests. 3 wars right now. Oh my goodness. Dissolution War, Empire of France, and a war against the tyranny. Oh boy.
Yeah. I feel like Snap, while they have the chance, needs to rename, like... rename France to something more... worthy of its stature. Something just like Eternal Chaos, the Empire of Eternal Chaos, or the Empire of Fire. Just
actually, France has no allies. None. This is a dangerous position to be in. Even just one alliance would potentially make a big difference.
Kara now 60,000 military power, still gaining those extra kingdoms. I don't know if they managed to capture the kingdom of Jenny yet. No, she can create it though currently. Meanwhile, at war with yet another duchy over here, looking to be another part of the Duchy of Ghana, which I believe Kara already has. They do. So I think this is just more for solidification and possibly making the big Chad name on the map. We do have 3 Chads on the map. Look at that. Chad, Chad, and Chad.
The Tri-Chad.
No one knew the true power of the Tri-Chad. But you know, there's a 4th Chad because
There's more. There's little baby Chad.
Yeah, there's little Bubba Denmark hat Chad. Oh, now Kara also needs to get Iceland. So we just got like Chad Island up there.
Now, one thing that I think is another thing we should discuss, with the armies raised, losing so much money, Kara losing 67 ducats a month, at some point, do you stop fighting the wars so you can create all the titles and actually have the gold to do so?
Yeah, I feel like Kara must have a point target and goal right now that then she just sits back and she goes, okay, I'm just going to hold, and not just for the creation of titles, but also for the pure fact of I might need a war chest in case all of the players come for me.
Yep. I was thinking the same. Building up, hiring as many troops as possible.
Wales currently at war with Scotland and losing.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, this is a de jure war for oh no, it's the de jure war for Mordaith's original title.
Oh no.
Oh boy. 18,000 total soldiers, 6,000 from Scotland, 10,000 from Ireland. Ireland, a hidden menace in this. Super powerful right now. And Mordaith just doesn't have the allies. Well, it's got a lot of allies, but none that are in this war with them.
Oh, no.
And that's 100%. They're going to be kicked out of Scotland.
By the AI, this is...
Yeah. Brutal.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and I think the main problem here is even whilst not at war, Mordaith's in debt. Huge amounts of debt.
Oh, no. If Mordaith had the military and the money, they've got so many claims that they could press, it would be a huge game changer. It's just getting the ability to actually go to war for those claims.
At this point, do you think it would be an idea for Mordaith to like whisper into Kara's ear, like, "Hey, help me get some more points on the board so I don't look, so I can not be in last place, and I will support you in the coming defense of your well-earned crown of taking this competition." Do you think we should see that kind of thing?
Yes.
I mean, I think it's a valid strategy, but I can understand if Mordaith feels the obligation and honor to just go
in Sicily. I mean, sorry, not Sicily. Interesting.
There's some Chad land in Sardinia.
Yeah.
Did that?
Scrolling by, I thought it was the Pope at first, but it's Sardinia is a mess of 3 players.
3 players.
There are 3 players in there.
The only location that is 3 players touching each other, like in one kingdom title? No, I think actually I think you're right. I'm just wondering if England has 3 players. I don't think currently it does. Well, I think it does if you include the whole of Britain because of this Byzantine outpost that's here. But but directly in one kingdom, I think this is the only location. I wonder how Kara got this. not directly controlled, so I wonder. It's a Velth character. One of the it's a in-game very powerful, quite well spread house at the beginning of the start. So possibly it was just a succession gone awry, fell out of control of the kingdom. Still very unique. Oh, I didn't realize that there's a mini Chad on the islands here as well. So if you're at the right zoom level, you can actually now look because of you can see the Chad in Sardinia as well.
Chad,
there's tiny Chads. The little Chads everywhere. The Chad enclave. Italy, also Timothy, not to be forgotten. Timothy. There's 5 of those. There's 6 of those. Sorry, Holy Land as well. Fizz and Quacks got 2. It's just France here that's not visible from space. And
big
Empire of Italia.
Big name. Oh,
the Empire of Timtalia. So that is 1, 2, and they've actually taken Ancona directly. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 2 from the Empire title, bring it to 7, and then Pomerania as well. 8 points now for the Grave One. Great grab, absolutely great grab. There we are. Tamalia.
That gives them
Empire of Tamalia.
Yeah, some de jure stuff to go in as well.
What do you think? Go for the Serene Doge there, who are currently independent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've got to at this point try and unland the Doge so that you can remake the title of Venice. But hey, climbing up those points, 8. Honestly, that puts them in a decent range of Spartini.
I'd like to know how quickly the Grave One is planning on expanding into North Africa, because we actually only have 11 minutes left until the rules are out the window.
Yeah. 26 minutes left to play, and then 11 before total conflict begins. I'm just going to quickly go around and double check point totals, mainly on our top leaders, where there is a lot of fluctuation quite often with these points. Let's quickly go with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 now for 14 now for Spartini. They've gained an extra point.
Could get another Empire title pretty quickly here.
Pretty quickly. In fact, I think they're relatively close to... I don't know what okay, no, that's all de jure Byzantine. Persian Empire's and Arabian Empire's actually out. But honestly, they can subjugate Hungary, they can get Carpathia, and also West Slavia. That could be a lot of points right there.
Now, Mordaith, I don't know what the plan is here. Mordaith realistically has had some issues with children this entire game, not having enough children. Right now, Mordaith, 2 daughters. I think you're right. I think that the plan here is, how can I cause as much chaos as possible?
I agree. I just feel like Mordaith needs to kind of like nibble on and, just... yeah, and, ask some help right now. Apparently, Mordaith has a soulmate as a character. Oh, his wife. Ah.
Yeah.
No, it's not his wife. It's Snap Strategy's wife.
That's
So
the kind of
I don't
chaos
think you'll be
we
getting
need.
an alliance from Snap. Oh, I like that. That's fun.
Snap also has no children, probably because his wife is a little busy in Wales.
Ooh. That's funny. I was like, oh, it's his wife. Ah, no, that's not his wife. Oh dear. Kara continuing her unhindered conquest of Western, the sub-Saharan Africa. How long before she can get an empire title down here?
It's coming up quick.
Five counties for the Emperor of Mali.
Yep.
Oh boy. She's about to get another 2 from this war. Literally one more war and she'll have another empire. It's scary.
And she's looking very stable as far as
Yep.
like factions. Money is doing good.
I want to know what it is with all the House Chad for them all wearing masks. Like, why is her family so mutilated?
It's her constant back-to-back wars.
Like, there was a 14-year-old here that somehow got disfigured.
Oh no.
And is possibly missing an arm as well. Graphically, at least. Oh no, I think that's arms behind the back. But even so, and then no, there's 2 14-year-olds that came out disfigured. What is going on? These twins have been the prince and princess of the mask. How is the Snap Strategy Eternal War going on? As another battle that they're in currently. They've been excommunicated by the Pope.
Oh gosh.
Oh
Curious
gosh,
that it
indeed.
wasn't
And this
him.
war that they're fighting is deadly.
Oh.
You're going to lose the Empire of France here again because this is 25k men that they just can't hold off. Snap Strategy.
Oh,
My
snap.
dude, it is not looking good for you right now. Apparently, according to Kara, her family had a smallpox epidemic since the Mars.
Oh.
Okay.
The Chad
I
box.
just thought it was like just a culture thing that I didn't quite get, you know. I will say though, I don't think the entirety of this map has been I don't think the players have grabbed areas of this map that they really could have. I think this would have been going back to session 2 and 3 at this point now. But we didn't see any like wild plays for Ruthenia, Finland, Estonia. We've seen everyone kind of stick around in very Eurocentric and kind of consolidate. I know it sounds crazy, but I think I would have gone for a less consolidated like single empire and just gone kingdom crazy, even if it was a case of like I set up a few in say Estonia and Ruthenia and then leave them, like make them independent, have them forge their own path over there, just so I could like sneak some extra points into my family. Because it's what I'm noticing, places like Denmark, which have been under house snap strategy since session 2, haven't been interfered with. Players really aren't touching each other's stuff very much. The only time we've seen it was with Hungary, and that was before it fell into another person's hands. So I'm going to sneeze.
I think, yeah, that's on the one hand, a good idea. On the other hand, it would be very difficult to, once you set it up, you have to go back and keep checking that it's actually still under your sway. And I think players are a little bit more concerned with their own holdings, especially with the inability of pausing and stuff, because it is a multiplayer. So it does, you know, have its own challenges. I think you're right, though. I mean, if you could stick people on a throne, even if they don't keep it for forever, just having that claim is always good to come back to later. You get
the claim. Not only that, but if you're the house head, you can call them in. You can still have them as an ally even without being directly allied to them. They're just going to grow your family. They're also going to generate their own claims. I feel like it's the right goal to just set up some little enclaves in certain places. Oh gosh. I've just realized as well with this character that Snap's been playing, they're sterile.
He's sterile. Oh,
they're absolutely sterile. No wonder Mordaith has snuck in and started sleeping with his wife. That's not a backroom deal, is it? Where Mordaith's going to try and impregnate Snap's wife just so they don't game over, is it?
I actually think, and that's a really good strategy, to have like a bastard and then legitimize it. And that's going to be one of the only ways that's going to work. Because currently with no family, there is no player heir for Snap.
Yep. There really isn't.
Everyone
and
is
he
dead.
will be out of the game again.
Well, let's hope that Emperor Estev does not die in the next 17 minutes.
Nope. Speaking of, we are 1 minute and 50 seconds away from total war. King Estev, though, is just taking the trait drunkard after being 3rd level of stress again.
Oh, no.
I think if it's the case of... I will give Snap the option to either... They lost the Empire. Did they lose the Empire? Yep, they're now the King of Aquitaine. They've held on to so much land. This war was not as bad as it looked. The real problem will be if they die. And both their brothers were murdered. I guess they did it. They pulled the trigger on those murders. I think I would only kill one brother.
Oof.
Well, to be fair, the Empress is of his family, so that's not too bad.
That's points on the board.
Yeah, there are still points on the board. That is the main thing for them right now. 50 seconds. 50 seconds till total war.
What do you think the
I bet the players won't even do anything. Honestly, I think they're all going to be too scared to pull the trigger. I'm just going to get ready to tell the players. Do you see anything particularly interesting going on right now?
No, I'm just kind of peeking around. It's looking like, Kara again, just going to war into Africa. I'm trying to see where are we at on that title. One more county for Mali. So that's going to be in this war.
Okay. There are now no rules.
There are now no rules. From a player war standpoint, I think with France's instability, that would have been a huge ally in a coalition. And now I think they're going to probably, if I was Snap, I would be like, look, guys, I can't get involved. I got to focus on keeping my lands together. I can't really join
Try and keep
with
those
you guys.
6 points.
Yeah.
This is wild, though. I wonder if we'll see any mega plays coming out of this. I wonder if we're just going to see. Someone I want to check right away is Mordaith. Who are they killing? I'm not going to say it out loud just in case that person reads or hears. Interesting. Very
Do you
interesting.
see who,
Chat, I'll
who
let
they're
you.
trying to elope with?
Yeah, I do. I do. There's some good schemes coming in there. Spartini, let's see what they're doing, if they've got anything going on. Okay, they still seem to be going down their own singular path, keeping on their plan. Did they manage to get the Kingdom of Wallachia? Yeah, I think they did. They did. Is that another point for them? No, it's not created yet. Oh, that's the Empire Carpathia that's not been made. Kingdom of Wallachia was grabbed. I'll double check in a moment.
They
If
did grab the West Slavia Empire title, though, so that's a second Empire title.
Jesus. Actually, I think Spartini just made a load of points. I need to quickly count and check some of this because there is a lot of titles in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kingdoms. 10 kingdoms, 11 kingdoms, 12 kingdoms, 13 kingdoms, 14 kingdoms, 15 kingdoms, 16 kingdoms. The Empire of West Slavia and the Byzantines, they've taken the lead massively. It's 21 points.
21 points. Oh boy.
21 points here. He's 65. This might split, but even so, it will stay within the family for now. 15 minutes left.
Kara has also taken the Empire of Mali, so we can add that to her points.
Yep, this is gonna get close. The last 15 minutes. Oh, the Empire of Mali has been made?
Yep.
Okay, that is a... counting, that's 20 points then for Kara, unless she's gained an extra kingdom since I last looked. I need to actually know that there is another kingdom, but I need to count these titles. That's 31 titles. There's a good chance that Kara and SpartiniMartini are on the exact same amount of points. Let's count with me, chat. Count with me, chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 kingdom titles, 1 empire, and the HRE. They're on the same amount of points. No way are they on the same amount of points. 21-21. They are tied. What? What?
So it really does all come down to this, the last 11 minutes, to see, do we have rules in place for a tiebreaker? How?
Yes, it comes down to renown. How much renown is left?
Oh, okay. Well, then if we look at that.
Yeah, currently with how that stands on the tiebreak, it would be Spartini that wins.
Yep.
Although I need to double check the renown level. Yeah, Spartini would win massively. It's total renown, not just the amount you've got pooled. Wow. And do you know the reason for that is Spartini's renown gain has been higher because Kara has been hoarding the titles, therefore there's been less renown growth from kingdoms held by other characters of the same dynasty, whereas Spartini has been going overboard and just having so many family members hold titles. I'm not going to do another count on points just yet, otherwise we'll be spending this entire session go for points. I just want to quickly have a look around what's going on because I think Mordaith's plot was discovered. No, it wasn't discovered, but it failed. But there is also a secret that has been found where someone is trying to murder Mordaith. I wonder, is Kara doing anything? No schemes going on for Kara right now. Let's check the Grave One. A different Tim. We've got a 19-year-old Tim of Italy now. Yet another Tim of Italy going for a holy war in the Duchy of Gabes right now. There is also a crusade that is firing Catholics for the Kingdom of Arabia. The Pope coming in. The AI giving us a chance where we can see an all-out point grab as well down here.
That's a big one.
This everything is falling into various places that I like to see. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's almost like it was coded or something. The Pope is putting some extra spice on this final situation.
That crusade is probably most beneficial to Spartini, who is the closest for war chest purposes.
Spartini's Orthodox, though.
Oh, I totally forgot.
Yep.
Never
the
mind.
only non-Catholic we have left. So actually, war chest purposes, I think Italy is the House Tim is going to be the one that really wants to fight in this and grab that extra kingdom title, because that'll bring them up. But the real question here is what is going to happen to can House Chad and can House Quack House hold on to all of these points they've gained, and how can they get some points away from one another? Because the thing is, they've both still got room to start nabbing little points here, left and right. If we can somehow see a subjugation of Hungary, even if they don't get the Kingdom of Hungary under the Byzantines, if they can get a subjugation of Hungary and form up that empire title, that's another 2 points. Because that's all they would need for Carpathia at this point with the amount of land they own.
Kara does have a lot of little kingdom titles, though, in Africa that she could go for. And she's going for them. So.
Yes, she is. She really, really is. And I think she just grabbed another one. Yep. Kara's ahead in 22 points.
She's been excommunicated.
Ooh.
Because she didn't help the crusade.
Oh, that's rough. That could really annoy her vassals. We need to double check what the factions are like. None are powerful enough right now, but we'll keep an eye on that. So, are any of our players involved with the crusade? Tim, Tim, Quack, and Mordaith are all involved directly. Kara just died, I think. Is that? Yeah, Kara died. Okay. What is happening to all the titles? Have they split? They really have. Mali. Oh, the Emperor of Mali fell to a different family member. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Like, the points are still in the family, but her power base has just dropped massively. Someone murdered her. I'm going to check who I think it might be. Let's see if it is. No, it's not who I thought it was. What?
Oh, I thought the scheme was going... Oh.
There was a scheme from that person. But in fact, nope. Who? It was Spartini!
Which is a brilliant play for being at where the points are.
Yep. Considering that now Spartini is currently in second place to this is crazy. This is I think what's gonna happen is it's gonna come down to the very end here. And I'm not gonna count the points now until the very end, I think. I'm gonna leave it and I will count the points and then I'll pass it to the studio so they can announce the winner in front of everyone. I think we'll hold off on counting those points now, and I'll just do some back end stuff and reveal it for the end. But boy, we can keep an idea on the action. We will keep an idea of what's going on. But there is just 5 minutes remaining, and honestly, it is neck and neck between Kara and Spartini. But as we just saw with that succession, there is a chance that even the mightiest people can fall right now. It's now down to our lower scoring players, the Grave One, Snap Strategy, and Mordaith to really wreak havoc, which they really can do. It's all going. It's getting intense.
So here's something that Kara could do if she could form Hispania, if she could get her fame up. And give away land. It is conciliation phase, and she could end with détente.
Oh.
Yep. She would need level of fame, exalted among men, and control less than 50% of Iberia region.
Right. So she needs exalted amongst men. She's only distinguished right now, so that's 2 levels of fame.
Okay, then that.
Which is real. That's a little tight in 3 minutes.
Yep. then.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a Hispania form. Just the alignment of those phases really didn't go around, which is, again, why it was the biggest point grab, because it was so... It comes down to timing, RNG, and all sorts of things, especially when you're also being mindful there's loads of players, you're trying to get points elsewhere. The priorities shift and change.
She did grab HRE as well, which is pretty
absolutely. As well as the Empire of Mali. Like, there's so much going on. You cannot fault Kara for a play, and it was probably the right call, but I'm just saying in terms of our reasoning, why it happened, there was a chance. But I think at this point, the chance has passed. 3 minutes remain. 3 minutes and 7 seconds remain on the clock. Are we going to see any more points grabbed? Actually, we do have a point coming in from House Tim, the Grave One, grabbing Venice. So they're up to 7 kingdom titles total, taking them to 9 points. The leader of our lesser house pack, shall we say? Good placed dagger right now would solidify Kara's empire again.
Yep.
So while she's weak right now, a tactical knife and or a tactical snake in the crib or any of the above could really sway this back in her favor, and the point totals are going to be tight. I think if we look as well, Spartini probably going.
Mordaith has stolen the wife of France.
Yay! Be with the one you love.
Yeah, Spartini had to remarry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Snap.
Snap had to remarry, and also so very hungry, just divorced his previous wife. She's still around. She's a former spouse. She's just there, just like, oof. But yeah, hey, Francia's old wife is pregnant. That's brilliant. How is the crusade going? Is it going? What are we seeing? What do we have here? It's not fired yet? No. Or has it? Am I just on the... Yeah, I think I'm just not viewing the correct person.
I
would 22% in the favor of the Catholics right now. Massive swarms of AI coming in to this war. Currently, first place in war score, war support is... Italy with 20%. That's going to be difficult to take away. I think they're probably going to get the Kingdom of Arabia from this.
In the last 25 seconds? Do we think they can gain in the last 25 seconds?
I don't know. Not with the, no. I don't think it's going to be the last 25 seconds here. This is going to be the final clicks, final plays from these players. I'm keeping the countdown. Count down with me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Everyone take a seat. We're going to add up the scores. We're going to see what's happening. But Ghibli, take us over what you think. Just like, how was that for you? Like, what would you have done differently? What was your highlight play? Just talk to me. Talk to me while I do some counting.
Okay. Well, my highlight play, it doesn't have anything to do with points or anything, but as far as just dirty pool goes, Mordaith eloping with France's wife, I think just right there at the end, that was just like a low blow, just like you know what, but that's kind of my favorite thing as far as CK3. I'm very, very pleased to see Kara's expansion down in Africa. I think those points were just free real estate, and she saw the opportunity and grabbed it. Excellent play by her. That murder right at the end was also a highlight. And now that we can say that it was Spartini that did in fact do that murder. It was genius to try to shake up the empire. Would have liked to see more African expansion from Italy. I think that would have been the right way to gain a bunch of points. However, that Pope War really did them in, and I think that they were recovering for a while. That crusade, had it been called 5 minutes prior, maybe 10 minutes prior, we might have seen another kingdom title out of that. But as far as the crusade goes, we're seeing they just did not have the time. Hungary probably could have been brought under the fold. Would have liked to see a little bit more play in Scandinavia as well. I think that Norway and Sweden would have been easy titles to go for. Would have been hotly contested, especially with culture and religious differences. But I think that it could have, someone could have taken it. I'm not sure who I would have vied for that. The just actual fracturing of England being just the bane of France's existence, but also Mordaith. I feel like that part of Europe really just struggled there for quite a long time. But all the players, I have to say, really did a fantastic job. We've had crazy RNG, that HRE war being invalidated for Timely. That was not great. I think that was before they formed Timely. But I will say, especially being a multiplayer, not being able to pause, this is a game with a lot of words and a lot of events that you need to be able to read. And so the quick thinking from all the players has been fantastic.
Yeah, I think it goes really without saying that the fact that you have to micro so much and be aware of so much. In a normal CK like multiplayer, it's you set yourself goals, but because there is a goal that's been set for you, which is the same as everybody else, it turns the whole game on its head. And we've seen some excellent attempts and plays from everybody, and even the people that haven't maybe done as well as some of the takeaway leads of this game. They had such an interesting game. They were so impactful right up until the end. And yes, there are things that people could have done differently, but what they did with what they had was they fought to the end, and they fought valiantly, and they made that impact. But I've totaled the scores. I've sent it to studio. So Ghibli, for the final time, thank you for casting with me on this. But we're going to send it back to the studio.
Oh,
Hi.
Hi, studio.
Oh, we're
Hello.
still here.
How are you guys
Not
doing? Oh, yeah, we're here.
fast.
yes. Okay, so just to make it clear, we have not seen
We have not.
the leaderboard either.
No.
So far,
okay.
the only one that knows what the points are is in our bottom left-hand corner, meaning Midgeman. Are we going to look at the leaderboard at some point?
We will look once we say goodbye to our casters, but we're going to chat with them for just a moment. You guys, you can't
I mean,
get
you've
rid
been
of
lovely.
this yet.
Thank you so much. Goodbye. No.
I mean, Ghibli, I mean, she is quite beautiful. You're beautiful too, Midgeman. Don't feel too left out. It's okay.
Don't worry, I know.
Well, I was a nudist and I died of gout, so
She's also the only one not in official Speed 5 merch. So, you know.
I
Yeah,
was
we're
going to
aware
bring
of
it up,
that.
but that's okay.
We're all here in our orange hoodies and sweatshirts, just like,
I feel
oh,
like
yes.
that we're all matching.
I do not
Yeah,
like it, and I thought really hard about changing to a blue sweatshirt just to look different.
Of course.
So
it has
we
to
could be this,
different.
yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Yep.
It would have worked out great, but my laziness stopped me. You've already talked about your reactions, so I don't know if we have any exciting questions. I think one of the things I'm interested in hearing, not just from the players, because of course we'll talk to the players soon enough, but Midgeman, you put together this rule set. Now having it seen played out, are there any things you with hindsight would want to change?
I don't think there's anything I would want to necessarily change, but I think one thing I would perhaps do would be to expand the starting pool of duchies I was very Eurocentric in where I had everybody start. There was the list is available, I believe, on the Speed 5 Discord if you want to try this yourself. But there was 12 starting duchies, and they weren't allowed to share the same empire location at the start. But the fact that they were all very Eurocentric meant that everyone was kind of cramped right from the game set. Mainly because I was thinking nobody would expand this fast, and in session 1 we saw an empire get formed. So it was, in hindsight, I think I would have, say, dotted a player into Russia, into Ruthenia, or maybe had even someone start in India, because I really feel like if they had that time to just actually, I think they could have taken a whole region, and then it probably would have created a lot more player conflict in the fact that they would have been more confident in themselves because they would have had this big empire out their back to then push in and attack. But other than that, I think the rule set's been pretty solid.
I mean, I just wanted to note here that one of the things I think we saw both with the Family Affair show, but also Monsters and Solid Duels, which we normally do on Tuesdays. More on that later. You go in and you just put these rules together, and then you're like, they'll probably achieve this in a lot of time. And then everyone just blows you out of the water because you're like, regardless of how you try and anticipate things, you're always underestimating the players, which I think is lovely.
That is true. On that note, we are going to say good night to our casters. Thank you so much, but I want to see the leaderboard. So thank you guys for participating in this. You have been wonderful, and have a great evening. Okay, so we finally get to see our leaderboard.
Oh, yes.
I am very excited.
I didn't realize I was this excited, but at the end of it...
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is interesting. heyitscara pulled out the win with 22 points. Congratulations to Kara. Next is SpartiniMartini.
With 21.
With 21 points. The Grave One was able to, he called it.
Yes, he did.
He called it with 9 points, and then Snap Strategy with 7 points, and OldManMordaith with 1 point.
I mean, it's traditional at this point.
It's at least 1 point. He's on the board. That's the important part.
I mean, I did not realize it would be this close at the top, and because I mean, they both ran away with it. At the end, they came in with what we thought was a lot of points, 13 and 10, and they both essentially doubled that.
Yeah, they did.
If you agree with my slightly horrible math. Still very impressive.
Does it surprise you with who won? Were you expecting her to be able to get that much in that allotted of time?
So I will say this. I think, based on what we heard from all of the players, that Kara's been in quite of a demanding position from a point standpoint a long time. And I think once you get to that, you don't have, like, if you have players next to you that also want to win, it's rarely in your best interest to be the one taking the first hit, because you're probably going to pay the biggest price, right? Because Kara's going to be bigger and more powerful than you. And I think that's also what we saw at the end. Like, the one that actually went for the assassination at the end, SpartiniMartini, also lots of points and felt like, I need to do this at this point.
He did. Yeah, absolutely.
Because otherwise Kara's going to win. I think the Grave One, Snap Strategy, and Mordaith, while of course they want to mess with the big dog, they're less incentivized to do so.
Right, and that makes sense. And I kind of wonder if that's what Kara's plan was all along, was to kind of, she was at that 10 points and managed to grab 12.
Do you remember what her first ruler was called?
I don't.
Sigma Chad.
Interesting. Go ahead.
Do you remember what SpartiniMartini
I
is?
don't.
I'm pretty sure it was Chadicus.
Interesting. Well, you know what? We actually do have them ready, so let's bring them in and congratulate. And questions.
Yes.
Hey, Askara, congratulations!
Congrats!
Thank you.
So, how does it feel to be the first champion with a family affair?
I was so sure that Spartini had pulled ahead right at the end that I was like, I in my mind it's like I'd already let go of it, and I was like, I did my best, but Hey, I'll take the W very gladly. Thank you.
I have to say, I kind of thought in like the last, I would say 5 minutes, I thought the Spartini had it. I thought he was gonna win, and that was honestly
Scary,
shocking.
yeah.
When that leaderboard came up, you guys probably heard me, but I squealed a little bit. But so congratulations. And my question for you
Thank you.
were you kind of laying low and you were going to go all out tonight and get those 12 points? Was that your intention?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but it's not like I didn't have any wars with any other players. They just didn't tend to go very well. So after that, I was kind of just like, yeah, I'll do my own thing. You know, take territory where I can. And that's about it.
And it definitely worked for you. And SpartiniMartini, second place still. That's still great. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And nice murdering Kara, by the way, in those last 15 minutes. Thanks to Midgeman for rolling back those rules.
Yeah, that's. I was waiting for the rules to go away before I started the murder. And if I had a holy war for a kingdom going on too, on 95%, sieging out the last county.
Oh my
If I
god.
had 20 more seconds, I would have taken the kingdom.
Yes.
So close.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was very much down to the wire, and I know watching Twitch chat and some of the YouTube comments as well is that there's been a lot of support for the Spartan. So I'm sure when the leaderboards were revealed, there were both people cheering for Kara, and then there were other people horribly disappointed that it was just 1 points difference.
And to note, he would have won if he had gotten that one last kingdom. He would have won
20 seconds.
because
So close.
because his renown was actually more than Kara's. So
Sure, but for the first minute of the first week of the first show, Mordaith was tied for first. So, you know, there are different ways you can look at it.
that is true. That is a good point. And also, congratulations to the Grave One. You called it. You got third place. How does it feel?
It feels really good. At the before we even started, I had one goal, and that was to beat Snap Strategy because I knew him pretty well before coming in. So, and I think he had the same goal too. So like we had like the kind of behind the scenes, like, oh, we just want to beat each other. But it was a load of fun. I'm really glad with how it ended, even with the hiccup earlier with HRE. But I'm really glad I was able to get 9 points even after that.
Yeah, that was really great. I think you went from 4 to 9 points in the 2 hours. So congratulations. That's very notable.
Now, Snap Strategy, do you agree with the Grave One's assessment that you were essentially just trying to beat each other, or is that just something he's saying because he came third and you came fourth?
No, we were just messaging now, and we did both admit it because that was my one goal. I was like, I can come fourth. As long as the Great One is fifth, I'm happy. I'll take that as a win.
Okay. I mean, it's good to know for future MPs where the rivalries lie, as it were. Snap Strategy, I mean, fourth, what went wrong?
AI.
Yeah,
Just straight
that
up.
AI. That
England
AI
and
did not work.
France AI.
I have a question, Snap. So, how did you feel about Mordaith stealing your woman?
He did also abduct me as well, I think, because I randomly got imprisoned and I was just in some random guy's prison in Wales. But I did manage to escape.
So, Mordaith, would you like to answer for yourself, young man?
Well, okay, in my defense, I kind of got the rules of the game wrong. I thought a family affair. I thought by eloping with his wife, I would have scored some extra points, but no.
I mean, there are the points on the board, and then there are the brownie points that resist in my heart. So, assume that you got some there.
Kingdom of Wales, full bellies, my soulmate. I think last points, sure, but I feel I won.
I have to say, it was very enjoyable watching the casters go, oh, Mordaith has his soulmate. That's his wife. That's really great. Oh, you dirty, dirty man.
Well, someone was infertile. Someone needed to pick up the slack.
I think she deserved it, to be fair. I think.
Well, at least he agrees, right?
I mean, true love is true love. We can't say no to that. Before we let you guys go, you've played 8 hours. That is a lot could be a lot for an MP. It's not a lot for a normal CK3 game. at all. So it's an early finish. Now that you've done this once, I would like to hear one thing from each of you, starting with Kara, that you think like this was the best move I made. Doesn't have to be one that actually won you the game or got you any points. More talking about brownie points here. This is the thing I'm most pleased about.
I think my favorite attempt, even though it didn't work at all, was trying to make the head of faith of the I forget what it's called, but the Muslim religion in Hispania, reform the head of faith, become the head of faith, and then declare like a jihad on Francia, so that I could try to get Hispania quicker before my character died. It didn't work at all, but it was the favorite thing I tried to do.
Mordaith, how about you?
The favorite thing, I there was a lot of great roleplay moments, but the favorite thing I did was a tactical move to win a war. I brought like 3,000 troops to France's capital and did a rush siege, even though they had like 10 times the number of troops I did, and we pulled the victory out. So,
Grave One, how about you?
I would have to say my strategies in Crusades, where I would just send most of my armies to die, and it made me win, I think, 2 out of the 4 Crusades that we had, where I just practically sacrificed my armies, and I won because I got the highest war score because of that.
It's cruel enough to be Crusader Kings. Snap strategy, how about you?
You know what, that's quite a hard question. I think, you know what, in the end, I think France was kind of stable, so I think that was the best thing I managed to do. For the last like 5 minutes, so I'll take that as a win.
Okay. And last but not least, SpartiniMartini, what was your favorite moment that you managed to pull off or failed spectacularly to do?
Well, tactically, I'd say not form all the kingdoms right at the start. I hang on to a lot of kingdoms just to make sure I wouldn't run ahead too far and paint too big of a target on my back.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the end, I had, I think, 6 unreformed kingdoms and an unreformed empire. And I waited for the last 20 minutes and I just formed them all to catch up to Kara. And it almost worked.
Very sneaky.
That was very smart. All right. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to all 5 of you for participating in A Family Affair. Congratulations, Kara. Girl power. Girl power. Air high 5.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Girl power. So congratulations on your win. And thank you so much, everybody, for participating. And everybody have a great day.
Thank
Bye.
you.
That was enjoyable.
It very much was. I'm so happy I made it back for at least the second finale, even if I missed the first one. I hope you guys had a lovely time watching. If you have any feedback, we of course love to hear it, either right here on Twitch right now. If you're watching the VOD on YouTube, please post a comment below or go to our Discord at discord.gg/speed5 and post in the CK3 discussion forum.
Yes. And so we do have a little bit of a schedule update. So we are going to be changing our days. We are changing next week. Monday will be 1800 CET, and it's going to be season 2 of Masters of the Universalis. Make sure that you all come back to that. It is exciting. We have some big names. Yes.
I don't know if I want to spoil all. I'm going to spoil some of them. Right away. On Monday, we have Flareaway taking part. Super excited to see that.
Yes.
JibblyJam is going to be back.
Yes.
Which is great. Traxim is coming back to defend
First winner.
Defend his title. And we also have Uldrahill coming to join us as the 4th player, because we are doing another 4-player 4-week season, because that's going to bring us to the end of the year. Now, I hear you asking, but who's going to cast the next season?
It's like you're reading my mind. Yes.
So even though I loved Count Christo and Ludi, they're
job.
great. We're going to have them back as soon as we can. I did also promise everyone I emailed that we're going to try a different caster set, just to have a different caster set. So I'm very happy to announce that the next season of Masters of Universalis is going to be casted by Laith from the Social Streamers and the Red Hawk.
It's going to be so funny.
They get along so very well.
They do.
You know, They're good friends.
They are really, honestly, they're good friends, and it's going to be a great time.
The main reason I have them as casters is because when I sent out my early emails, they were both like, I'm interested in casting. I would love to cast with this person, and they both recommended each other, and I was like, I can't say no to that.
Well, that and Leith just wants somebody to argue with, so
Of course. Of course.
it's going to be a great time.
We should also have a show on Wednesday.
Yes.
Not announcing it yet because I need to make sure that everyone is on board, and I don't want to say anything because it's too early, but keep your eyes peeled
Discord.
on the socials and on Discord, and you'll know. But you should still scribble in Wednesdays at probably 6. We'll see. More information later this week.
So thank you so much, everybody. I've had a great time. On behalf of Speed 5, everybody, have a great day. Bye, guys.